Hi everyone, and welcome to RollBound 2. I am your DM, Chas, and I'm going to go down the list and have everyone introduce themselves, starting with Groove.
Good tidings. I am Groove, and I am bound to the role of Jonathan Oneros Phage.
Alrighty, Allie.
Hello, I'm Ali, and I am bound to the role of Prince Xander.
Alright, Minnow.
Hello, I am Minnow, and I am bound to the role of Vivian Deshays.
Alright, Joey.
My name is Joey, and I'm bound to the role of Jay Elwood. Forgot his last name for a second.
Alright, Dakota.
Hello everyone, my name is Dakota, and I am bound to the role of Lysel.
And last but never least, Mickey.
Hi, I'm Mickey, and I am bound to the role of Emiko.
No!
Just imagine.
No,
Getting
no,
peeled.
no, 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 no,
Imagine
no,
how good and freeing that must feel.
no,
Being
no,
freed from your skin.
no, I'm
Don't you feel a little constrained in your skin? Doesn't it feel
No, I
You
feel
feel cramped in your skin?
alive in my skin.
it wants to come off?
Chas's skeleton is about to hatch.
No.
I need you guys to understand. Whenever Thanksgiving rolls around and I have to peel the potatoes, there's like a deep-seated fear within me that awakens that I'm gonna peel my fucking skin off with it.
Don't do that. Just don't do that. Okay.
Or you could.
No. No.
Name one thing that's stopping you.
Oh god, I'm gonna fucking pass out.
No.
Motivational speaker.
Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition.
Have you tried? Have you really tried?
Groove, I'm going to kill you.
What's new?
Let's get started. Since Vivian was fed to a face biter last time, I'm about to introduce my new character. His name is John Peeler. You'll never guess what he does.
No. But where we last left off, literally, you guys had just met Camillus, and he brought you to a tavern, quote unquote. No, it is a tavern. I don't know why I say quote unquote. It's just, it's a very shady tavern. Basically, like the door into the tavern, for one, it was in like a basement, so it's like under a building. So you walk down a little bit of stairs that led off the street, and there was a door, and the door had a crudely drawn shark with like cartoony eyes on it and like overlapping underbite teeth. And, Camillus warned you, like, it looks a little fucked up, but the food here is actually great. It's a nice place. And he leads you in, and the inside, at the very least, doesn't smell bad. It looks like it should, but it doesn't. There are mage lights everywhere where the color of them has changed to simulate, like a warm colored fire. It is lower lighting in here. There are people scattered throughout the tables. Most people are sitting by themselves, but you have people in big coats with their hoods pulled up. You have 2 people are at the other side of the building playing a card game of sorts. There's like a group of them sitting there playing a card game. And then you have a bar that looks like it's made out of, like, slapped together, like, plywood. Like, it looks like someone built it with hope and spit and tears. But it's functional, at the very least. And the man behind it is this very, very large, dragonborn man with a very big gut, and he honestly is like the happiest person there. Like, he's chilling, he's like humming to himself, and he has this very low rumbly voice, and he's like walking around behind the counter. He's like wiping it off. Like, he seems like he's having a great time. And like he's like cleaning off some of the bottles of liquor. And he like turns around and he he like waves with the hand that has the rag in it, and he just goes, "Welcome in. Sit anywhere you like."
We sit.
In the middle of the tavern on the floor.
I sit on the guy who said that.
But Camelus like picks like a table that can suit all of you, and sits down, and then like grabs all of the documents out of his cloak that he had originally been hiding, and he says, "So it would seem that your party and I respectively have a different set of information on the Skinari and the like. I was wondering what you found out. We can exchange notes, as it were."
Xander is going to pull out the Book of Shadows and basically flip it open to the pages he's been using to kind of journal their adventures so far, and just slide it to Camelus.
Yeah, he will pull it closer to him and read. And he's reading for a few minutes. You guys have been traveling together for 2 months now, basically, give or take. Almost 2 months. So there's a lot to go over. And Xander, you can tell when he gets to the part about the Skinari working with a dragon, because you see his eyes widen and he goes, "A dragon?"
Indeed.
And then
Needless to say, we've had our hands full.
a dragon, and then using the depths as a way to...
While Camelus is reading, can I just quickly scan the room, get a read on the people around us, see if anybody's like trying to listen in or anything?
Make a perception check.
Well, I thought I'll be doing the same thing.
Yeah.
Don't you do? Don't.
23.
Shit. Sorry, I had a cat trying to get on top of my dice.
It really do be like that sometimes.
Okay. I just dropped all my shit trying to scare him off.
It really do be like that sometimes.
Natural 20 for a total of 26.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so both of you are kind of peering around the room, trying to see if there's anybody maybe listening in, maybe anyone who shouldn't hear this conversation. And you don't see anyone trying to listen in, necessarily. You do see some people that maybe don't look like the best people. You do see that the group of men playing cards, like, kind of look at you all ever so often, but they are too far across the room to even try to hear what you're talking about. They just seem like, you know, big group looks at the other big group in the room, you know?
Yeah.
But they don't seem to be listening in any aspect.
Cool.
Yeah, Camelus will look over and he goes, "You know, a lot of this makes some of what I've been looking into make a lot more sense. I wonder how they cut their ties to to the depths on our side. I found no connections tying them down there. Guess that's the good thing about sourcing information from other places. So, what I have, and he takes out his, these documents that he has stolen, and he lays them out. And he says, so there's a few things. For one, Skinari attacks, just in general, have been a lot more frequent, but the town criers don't say anything. It's not posted on any bulletins. The guard are not warning people or looking out for them. It's almost like it's being covered up. And the thing about that is license as a whole, and especially not Snow's Reeds, aren't necessarily unkind to those of spirit kin make, and the law keepers aren't necessarily usually fine with that. And he starts unraveling the scrolls and spreading them out, and he goes, point is, I think they're within the higher up spaces of Snow's Reach's Justice Department. I think there's a mole, and I'm trying to find out who it is. And without giving you a 20-minute explanation, he basically, he lays out everything, and he points out people that he has confirmed, without a doubt by name, are Skinari, how they have been arrested, and then the charges have been edited to be something like petty theft, or belligerence, in public, stuff like stuff that they usually only keep you in jail for, a day. Not stuff that you get, jailed for a long time or imprisoned and stuff like that. Murdering somebody and harvesting their body parts will, in any of Kelmra's countries, send you to prison for a very, very long time, if not get you executed, depending on the country you're in. And, license is one of those places where a crime that severe, especially since they usually make magical artifacts out of it, the answer to that is execution. Most of the time. And, Camus goes to explains that he's trying to figure out who it is, but someone is going in and changing the records, but he has ruled out that he doesn't think it's directly the Lawmaster, because they don't... that's usually not something that they deal with. They do the initial sentencing, and then they're clean of it. But after he gets through all of that, he says, and this is sort of where I've run cold on finding anything.
Oh. Well, that does seem rather problematic. What do you suppose our next move should be?
Since none of you are from here, I was actually wondering if there's something that you could help me with, if you are pursuing the Skinari. There's a dealer in license, primarily in Snow's Reach, that is a vendor of sorts for the Skinari. Now, most of the time, individuals either know or choose to ignore it or don't know what exactly they are receiving and just being expected to peddle out. A lot of the time, the Skinari do not sell their own products. They pass it on to someone else, get the bulk payment, and then leaves less tracks. But if we can find who they are... What the fuck was that? That was a very loud noise. I'm turning some of you down, because I don't know where it came from, and that hurt my earsies. There we go. But he says, I suspect that if we can find out who their current dealer is within Snow's reach, we can likely find out more information.
Xander is going to look to Johnny and say, well, seems like we're going to have a reason for your, rather umbral talents, my friend.
Indeed.
If we can find this dealer and where he sleeps, then that will benefit us greatly.
How do you suggest we go about this?
Camillus, do you have any idea where this dealer's territory might be?
Not necessarily. I couldn't tell you an exact location. They don't tend to stay in the same spot for obvious reasons. However, the place that I would assume it is safest to look immediately forgets the name of it. See, Snow's Reach is set up in, like, districts, and I will be like, haha, I'll remember them, and then I never do.
Ain't that just the way?
You're not supposed to say that. Minnow's supposed to say that.
Oh, is he?
If it's any consolation, I did say it, but I was muted.
Oh. I didn't know that was his thing. I thought it was just a thing. I say that shit all the time, too.
I know. I just wanted to be funny, because, like, the person I hear say it the most is Minnow.
Basically a catchphrase at this point.
Exactly.
Think that's just the way?
Ah!
I'm gonna kill you with hammers.
Oh, I need it. Where's Alan when you need him?
Usually at work, I guess.
Yeah, he is. He works 2 fucking jobs, poor guy.
Okay, there we go. I found it. The... Oh, God. Starts choking. The likely best place that you will get more answers is in the Glow District. It's not as guarded or as, I guess, wealthy as the Raven District or the Diamond District, and it's not part of the closed-off community to the northeast. East? East. Likely where they're operating, because there's less eyes and more ways to get literally underground. And also more people willing to pay for items that they don't know where they are or what they came from.
He said the Glow District?
Glow District!
Very well. We shall make our way there. Do you have any other information for us before we depart?
I guess less of information and more of what the plan is on my side. For one, I'm not going to make it known that these were stolen, obviously, but I'm going to be a little sneaky on my mother's end and see if I can weasel my way into some of the hearings for the Skinari. My mother's side of the family is part of Parliament, which is why I say that. Try to sneak some things in that way without them being too much on my case. But also, while you're here, and since you are helping us, he, and by us I mean me, and my familiar, I guess, but he hides in my bag most of the time, he, reaches into his bag and he pulls out, kind of looks like a little, like, thin silver, I'll never fucking remember what these things are, but like a little piece of, like, silver ivy, and he pulls out multiple of them, and he hands one to at least half of you. He only has, like, 3, and he says, so long as you have these, you will be able to go through the gate at the estate that I live in. It's a practice enchantment I made. Basically, if you approach our gate with it, the lock will just unlock. Just lock it behind you when you enter, that's all I ask.
Interesting.
If it doesn't
Johnny.
work, I'm very sorry.
Johnny, do we have any of those sending coins left?
Johnny gives him a sending coin.
Oh, thank you.
You can use that to get into touch with us, should you wish to arrange another meeting before we happen to make our way to your estate.
He nods and says, sounds good to me. And, thank you. This has been an ongoing problem.
Indeed. In any case, we should get moving. Not only do I want to find this dealer before he goes into hiding, but I also think it would be wise to limit the amount that our group appears in public with you. At least until this is all sorted.
Of course. And, he said that's honestly why I went here. None of these fine folk will care if we're seen together. Usually what happens in here stays in here.
Ah. You've just reminded me. Xander's going to get up, walk over to the bar, place down 10 gold pieces, and loudly tell the bartender, "A round for everybody. Paid in advance."
Yeah. And then, yeah, all of the, everyone in the bar just goes, like, immediately, start, like, yapping and giggling. Yeah, and, like, one of them that's playing cards says, "I like you, pretty coat," and then looks at his friend across the bar from him, slaps a bunch of cards down and says, 20 on the dot. And the other one goes, "Ah, fuck you. I hate this game."
Xander is going to give them a polite nod, look to his party, give a nod of it's probably time to go, and then look at Camillus, smile, and just give him a wink. And then Xander's going to make his way outside.
You don't...
Johnny's going to collect 2 rounds for himself. And we'll join.
Yeah, and as you all depart, you are back on the streets of License. Gonna make streets of Snow Street. I don't know why I keep saying the country name instead of the city name.
I don't know, but it's really funny.
I hate myself. Also, new city, who dis? New role. No, that's just stuff that, there we go.
So, obviously I was here last week, but assuming that I wasn't, did we drop the brother and sister off and get paid?
Yeah,
Yes.
We actually put the amount that gets added to the party fund in the, loot chat and tagged you.
Oh my goodness, you did everything and I still missed it. Thank you.
We also, the entire party also got a new, party emotional support blanket.
Thanks for cluing him in on that.
Hey, they needed to know that they now have
Sure.
an emotional support blankie.
Okay.
See? He's elated to know.
Hey,
Okay.
does the magic blanket do anything, or is it
Yeah,
just
for
like...
It's warm.
Yeah,
Did you know that?
For
I'm familiar with the
context-
concept of blankets, yes.
For context, after you guys brought them back, Misha brought you a blanket that was woven by her grandmother that is made out of fibers from the spirit world. It does not require attunement. If you simply wrap it around your shoulders or just kind of like snuggle up with it for 5 minutes, it just casts detects magic. Like, you just have it up.
Oh, okay. Cool.
But... Ooh, what's that? What's that? What's that? What's that?
Can I wear the blanket like a scarf?
Kind of like a shawl because of how big you are, but...
I couldn't just, like, wrap it around my neck? Like
No.
a scarf?
That's why I said it's more like a shawl, because it's big enough to where it's like, it would, like... If you wrapped it around your neck, it would eventually cover your whole face. But, like, you could, like, wrap it around, like, your neck and around your shoulders a little bit.
Like a poncho.
Yeah.
Sick, I found the level 10 upgrade art.
You have to fight Emiko for it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
That was like the only change that I wanted to make to the character art for the next level up was, or not the next level up, but like for the level 10 level up was I just wanted to put like a scarf on the character sheet or the character. That's it. That's all I wanted. Because we're in cold place now.
No golf bag.
Okay, so 2 things.
The golf bag is implied.
True.
2 things happen. Lysel, I would like you to make a perception check, but I want you to use your constitution.
Constitution, oh boy. Yeah, that's actually a worse roll for me. But that's okay, we roll good. So it's gonna be +2, +3. 23.
As you are all walking down the street, you know, starting to head in the direction you want to go, you get a weird tingling at the back of your neck. There is someone like you nearby. There's another Reaper nearby.
I think as they're walking, Lysel just kind of like slows down slightly, just kind of like glances around. Can I use my ability to see if anybody within a certain radius of me has died recently?
Yeah. What is the, like, range of that?
I can't remember if it was 30 or 60 feet. It's been so long since I've used it. I think that last time I used it was, like, session 2.
Well, in any case, it's 60 now. So, yeah, you do sense that someone has died very recently. Not very far from you.
Hey, can we go check something out real quick? Lysel's gonna, like, kind of start, like, nudging off in the direction that they're getting that vibe from.
Why, of course. But for what reason? Have you spotted another suspicious fellow?
Someone's died recently. Very recently.
We must pursue post-haste.
There might be something else as well, but I'm not sure.
Well, where there's death, there may be evil.
And then Lysel's going to try and lead the way to wherever it was that they got that sense of death and or other Reaper.
Yeah, you start following in that direction, and as you start going, it gets stronger and stronger, and it kind of weaves you through more buildings until finally you find a house. It's relatively small. It's 2 stories, but they're compacted. And you see that the door to this home is wide open.
Like, wide open in the sense that it was forced open, or wide open in the sense that somebody forgot to close the door?
There's no visible damage. It kind of just looks like someone left it open.
I think it's coming from in here. Let's listen, walk up to the door and peek inside, see what they can see.
The inside is well lit. You know, the person has all of their candles lit. And there is a mage light that hangs from, like, a metal device from the ceiling. And it looks like a decently made house. There doesn't appear to be any signs of a struggle or any signs of, like, you know, nothing's been disturbed. It's a little cluttered. This house definitely looks like it belongs to someone who keeps a lot of shit. Not in, like, a hoarding way, but just, like, they got baskets with just full of stuff, like, everywhere. The person who lived here had ADHD, okay? Just cluttered a little bit.
What kind of vile beast would keep so much clutter? What horrible affliction must they have had?
I'm not sure. I'm gonna go check out inside real quick. I know it could be just breaking into... Well, I guess it's not breaking. The door's already open, but... I just got a bad feeling. And Lysla's going to sneak out inside.
Yeah.
Xander's going with them.
Do you want to actually stealth, or are you just, like, kind of walking in but being quiet?
Walking in
Sneak.
but being quiet. Unless we want to sneak. We can pass without trace. I got that.
Yeah, let's do it.
I will use my once per day pass without trace.
I also, once per day, pass without trace.
Well, one of us is going to have to change.
Alrighty.
Deal.
Everyone who wants to, make me stealth checks. So I guess everyone, if everyone's going. Damn. Oh my god, not again.
I'm going to
Oh,
give
man.
a 32, please.
Do I go or do I want to stand guard?
Stand guard.
Oh my god!
Holy shit. Is that legit, or are you fucking with me?
You fucking called
Are you
it.
deceiving
31,
me?
32. Yeah, no, I think I need to stay out now. So not
Yeah.
with whatever the hell's going on here.
31, 32, 33, 34. Oh my god. Oh my god! That's fucking crazy.
Tomoko's also going to be standing outside.
Also, hilariously, not only did our final numbers line up like that, but Dakota got a nat 20, Minnow got a natural 19, and I got a natural 18.
Jesus.
Hot damn.
What the fuck? Oh, that's so weird.
Sure.
Anyway, I'm gonna start calling these Reapers numbers, and I'm gonna make that a lore in Teosia where whenever people, like, whenever a bunch of numbers that are in sequence show up, they're called Reaper numbers.
That's awesome.
The opposite of
So when
the
people
angel
start
numbers.
counting, like 1, 2, 3, 4, they say,
No.
oh my god, Reaper numbers.
No, it has to be, like, a weird sequence. Like, it can't be, like, deliberate.
How vague can it be? It can just be like increasing order. Like if they see like 1, 13, 27, 58, is that Reaper numbers?
Well, we'll workshop it.
Okay.
But, yeah, you, the only real way to go is upstairs, and as you start creeping up that way, you don't seem to be noticed, and you find, an area, like, a kind of, like, all-encompassing bedroom. There's no really, like, rooms up here. It's, like, a loft, and then, like, a half wall, and then, like, someone's very obvious bedroom. And you see a few things. You see 2 figures. One is a person laying on the ground, dead. Appears like they've fallen over, and you see another individual, kind of like down on one knee, holding like a large, it's kind of like a club, a little bit, but it's like a little more, I guess, well designed. It doesn't just look like a big hunk of wood, that has like ornaments and carvings in it. And this individual has like blondish hair with a bunch of like orange streaks in it, and they have a set of like animalistic ears on top of their head. And you all hear him seemingly whispering a prayer, and if any of you know Celestial, he's basically saying things like, you know, to the winds and to the reaches of wherever you want to go. Just like a very soft prayer.
So I'm not getting like the vibe that the Reaper was the one that dealt the finishing blow here. So this person died of maybe natural causes.
Yeah, it doesn't look like he's the one who killed them in any case. But he is here to, you know, reap them. But you can't, like, fully make out his face. You can only see it from, like, kind of like a behind angle. But he also kind of looks pissed off a little bit. Not like at the person, but, like, you know, like when someone's dealing with something and they really don't want to be dealing with it in that moment and they're just, like, frustrated. That expression is painted on his face. And he is covered in a little bit of blood, but this person doesn't have, like, severe wounds.
So, like, the blood this guy has on him is likely not from the body?
Yeah. But it's all up his, like, it's all on his hands and all up his arms. And he has, like, the sleeves of his, like, tunic. He's kind of just wearing, like, a traveler's tunic. And he has them, like, rolled up, but there's blood all over his hands, staining his fingers. Weirdly enough, his hands also, like, from the elbow down, seem to have, like, a light layer, a very, very thin layer of fur on them, and there's, like, stripes.
Is this person an Etherpin? They do me?
Make me... I don't know, make me a nature check.
Nature?
At advantage, because you're also an Etherkin.
Yo! What the fuck? That's my third natural 20!
What the fuck?
19?
19? That was just... Minnow, what dice did you give him? This doesn't appear to be an Aetherkin. Too many things are, like, aligned. He has, like, tiger-like ears, and he has stripes on his arms, and he also does have, like, a tiger-like tail. So, you know, he's not, I guess, random enough.
That makes sense. I think, Lysel's gonna look back to the people that came in there with him, and just kind of gesture for them to wait there for a moment, and just step out into the room, not getting within melee range of this guy, and they're gonna clear their throat.
Huh? And his, like, little ears flick, and he, like, stands up very suddenly and, like, turns around, and he holds out his club like he's ready to defend himself. And he looks like this.
References. Hello, kinsman.
Oh. Sorry, I didn't hear you enter. Please tell me you left the door open.
Of course. I wasn't planning on touching anything here.
Oh, thank goodness.
What happened? I'm going to assume that you didn't murder this person. Doesn't really fit.
Oh, no, of course not. I had to come. He, like, sighs and says, duty calls, I suppose. No, this person, he, like, kneels down and says, was dead long before I got here. Although, he, like, kind of, like, winces. They weren't supposed to die. I didn't get here in time. And he, like, stands up and, like, kind of holds his club over his shoulder and says, I was sent here to actually prevent the death, but I was too late.
Do you have any idea who did it, or where they went?
I have not a clue. I was told that there was someone that was going to die in a way that they weren't supposed to, and that the chains of this life are going to be severed early, and I was sent here to interrupt it, and I'm trying to figure out what happened, because, and he, like, puts his, like, because the body is kind of being blocked by the bed, he kind of, like, puts his foot on the bed and, like, literally just, with a very slight kick, like, pushes it all the way out of the way. And he kneels down, kind of, like, cat-like, like he's kind of crouching like a person being a cat. And he, like, crouches down next to it and says, there are no visible injuries in any case, but they have weird, faint traces of magic. They definitely died quickly, which is why I believe I didn't make it in time.
Well, I happen to have a couple of friends in my group that are very capable with magic. Johnny?
Yeah. Johnny is going to take a look.
Yeah, and you see that there's an individual laying on the floor. Again, they look almost peaceful. You can definitely tell that this person did not, like, arrange them this way. As he has been very careful to not, like, directly touch the body while interacting with him. He, like, puts his hands near but doesn't quite make contact. But, yeah, make me an investigation check.
$19.
You take a look, and there are very few subtle things. This person definitely, it's very, very hard to tell. You kind of got to look very closely, but you can definitely see that this person does have wounds, but they are underneath their skin. A lot of the time, this is a surefire way of telling that someone has been injured by certain forms of magic. You know, magic that's a little more, I guess, elemental-based, you know, usually will leave a wound. But there are some magics that they do not have to break skin to wound you.
And Johnny will pull out the orb of the artist, casting Speak with Dead on the corpse he was inspecting.
Yeah, and the individual sits up, and after sitting up, this seems to be like a man with, like, longer hair and kind of, like, gaunt features, definitely an elf. And he, like, sits up and then, like, looks to you, and it literally sounds like the cracking of bones and stuff. A little meaty, because haven't really started decomposing fully yet, but looks at you expectantly.
Johnny will look not at him, but around at Lifestyle and everybody else. What dialogue shall we have with this man?
Well, I'm sorry, what was your name again? Leslie's gonna look at the other reaper.
Oh, I apologize. How very rude of me. My name is Mateo.
Well, Mateo, my name is Lysel, and this gestures to the other people now filter into the room. This is my traveling group, the Silver Lining. I do believe you were the one sent here to prevent this from happening, so if you have any questions that you want to ask first, gestures to the undead body sitting up.
Yeah. He'll put his hand on his chin and just say, He looks to Johnny, because he assumes that this is how the spell works, and goes, would you ask for a description of what happened to them?
Johnny's gonna look at the guy. Tell me, what are the circumstances of your passing?
The individual seems to think for a moment and says, it was a regular day for the most part until I felt a sharp pain grip my chest and my ribs. Lower ribs, that is. And the pain was stinging. And then I saw a shadow that was shaped like a man approach me and start attacking me.
Johnny relays this to the party. And tell me, what were the circumstances of your life?
I don't really do much since my accident, but I used to be a soldier in License's army, but during a dispute with some sort of cult, I got a really bad strike nailed at the base of my back, and even after healing, I didn't quite fight the same, so they retired me, so mostly I remain home. I sometimes bind books for people as a side job. But otherwise, Snow's Reach pays me to maintain a decent living in my retirement.
We have 10 minutes just to eliminate suspects here. John's going to look around and detect the latent dreams in this room. Do they happen to resemble anything we've seen before?
They do.
Is it Lozano?
It is, without a doubt, the same magical signatures and essence that you saw back in Icewind.
Johnny's eyes go wide, and he will look to the party. This is indubitably the work of Lozano. We'll look to myself. How long has this man been dead?
Lysel, a little over an hour.
He's been gone for a little over an hour now.
Mateo kind of looks around and says, you know who did this?
Johnny.
We know of them. We haven't actually met them formally.
How strange.
As if his hair is standing on end, is going to try and rush these last questions. Do you know why anybody would want to harm you?
Unless someone has a grudge on me from when I was a soldier, no. I don't think I've wronged anybody.
Did you ever know of an artist? Someone who may have gone by the name of Lozano, worked in the dark and taboo?
I don't know anyone by that name, but I did know that there were murders happening recently of people being killed and some... He despite being dead, gags at what he's about to say, artistic way. people's blood being turned
Autistic.
artistic. We've already made this joke. I know because I edited it out of an episode. I actually don't think I
okay.
edited it out. I actually think I kept it in there. I don't think I edited it out. I think I kept it. But he says, yeah, in artistic ways, and then he continues and says, people's blood being turned black, then being displayed in horrible ways, painting shivs being still attached to them. It's been going on for the last few weeks.
Anyone have a burning question for our last one? Anyone really want to ask him something?
Do you own anything that someone might have wanted to take from you after killing you?
Johnny asked this question.
No, I do not believe so. I have my bookbinding supplies, or maybe my old armor and sword from my days in the military. But other than that, I don't have much of value. And, that was the last question, right?
Yep.
Yeah, as that question's asked, his, neck snaps back forward and he flops back on the ground. Mateo, crosses his arms and says, this is all dark stuff.
Johnny, ignoring his comment, is going to, just like before, he'll turn to Vivian. Say, Vivian, would you help me track the trail?
Woof. He turns into a dog.
Perfect.
Boof.
And we're going to try and track this trail, same as last time.
Yeah, before you leave, one of the charms on Mateo's club sprouts a flower, and he hands it to Dog Vivian, and Vivian, whatever checks you make, you have advantage.
Thanks, homie. Already did, but I'll take some more.
Take some more. But yeah, go ahead and make me a, I think I'm just asking for a perception check if you're using, doggo senses, right? For, smell and shit?
What should
For
it be for
tracking,
me?
it's usually survival.
Okay, then make me a
but
survival check.
Perception's kind of better for me, but I will take survival.
Whatever is best for being a dog, because I can't remember what I asked you last time, but I'm basically asking you what I asked for last time.
Yeah. Okay. Well, sometimes you roll 2 twos.
Johnny is on all fours, sniffing alongside Vivian. I rolled a 16.
Yeah, Vivian, you find it hard to really find anything with the smell of this man's house. It's not necessarily a bad smell, it's just a very potent smell. It smells like candle wax and incense and, dust. Just really potent perfume. Excuse me, I burped. I actually hiccuped. Perfume-esque smells. Very, very pungent. And then Johnny, similarly, you follow the trail outside. The trail smells a little different this time. It still kind of is reminiscent of when you guys were tracking him down in Icewind, but this one's a little more faint. Not by the passage of time, but almost obfuscated. It also smells a little more like magic, like conjured magic. But you go outside and you, like, sniff around, and the smell almost gets stronger as it intersects and winds around, and the sense that you get is that this person has been in this area more than once, and that sticking to one coherent trail is difficult. But it overlaps and has this, again, weird, faint, kind of tinge to it. Like, again, it's less of the actual person, and almost like it's like a, since you're well-versed in magic, like a projection of sorts. You know, because, it works the same way with familiars. Everyone's familiar kind of carries the scent of the person who conjured them, but it's a little more faint.
This projection of Lozano's has been active in Snow's Reach. He may be in the area. We'll look to the party. Camelus stole many documents. I wonder if there is any hint at Lozano's presence in them. I yearn to meet this man.
While you're all having this discussion, Mateo, who has been, like, watching, leans towards Lae'zel and just goes, "That's, very interesting. I have a quick question for you, if you don't mind."
Yeah, what is it?
While your friends are distracted. I'm so sorry. He, like, steps back a little bit and he goes, "Can I ask you who you work for?"
I'm not entirely sure I know what you mean.
Sorry, I should have asked that a little more clearly. Which pillar are you aligned with?
Oh, I'm part of the Pillar of War.
He nods.
You?
Mercy.
That seems pretty fitting.
Well, he, like, kind of, like, wiggles a little bit and says, I didn't really choose to do so. It actually happened due to some weird events, that happened to me semi-recently. I have another question for you.
Yeah, ask away.
Do you happen to know anyone who's good in medicine?
I mean, we have a druid in our party, Vivian. She's pretty good with medicine.
His, like, ears perk up and his eyes go, like, you know, like when cats' pupils just go shoof, like, get all big?
Yeah.
And he goes, "Really? Like,
Do you-
like, really good?"
The best I know.
I know you're all doing something, but can I speak with her, perhaps? I promise I will not take up too much of your time.
I don't believe she's capable of speaking right now, says looking at the dog.
Uh-oh. I guess I should have thought about that when you said druid, huh? That maybe it might be the member of your party who turned into a dog.
Hey, you never know. There are some, I think some wizards can do that.
That is true. Oh boy, I apologize. I got a little excited.
Alright, do you have something that ails you?
It's not necessarily an ailment to me, but an ailment to someone else.
I see.
Does Xander hear this?
Yeah, he didn't necessarily, like, drag Lysel off. He just kind of, like, followed y'all while you went outside, and then, like...
Xander's going to approach and say, "You mean like a curse?"
No, it's not a curse. It's a very particular illness, but nothing.
Is it a disease?
I think so.
Johnny looks at Jellin.
I think so.
I mean, because we also have a paladin that can probably just remove it by touching you, so...
Well, that's the thing is, I've tried everything. I took her to the knights, I took her to a witch, I took her to, well, everywhere I could. I took her to someone who breaks curses. I've done everything, and she keeps having strange dreams saying that in her dream she drinks something and she feels better. But I don't know what it is.
Oh, well, we also have a Dreamweaver. Points to Johnny.
If dreams are the issue, then Johnny should certainly be able to help her.
Johnny's licking a cobblestone.
It's my mother. In the last few years, she's fallen very, very ill. I even took up this, he looks at his hands, took up this power hoping that maybe I would be able to heal her, but it doesn't work. She's much smaller in stature than I, and she's very gentle, and I'm worried she won't be able to handle it any longer, but I can't figure out what's wrong with her.
Is she here? Or...
I did bring her with me, yes. She's at the tavern I've been staying at.
Does it seem like we're going to be making any more progress on finding Mr. Fuckboy? Or have we hit another dead end?
Johnny would follow the trail as far as it goes.
Sorry. Sorry. It does similarly go a certain distance and then completely disappear again. But you do get the inkling that it is not a city jump like it was last time.
And Johnny returns to Mateo. We can help you with your mother, but in turn, you must find us. Help Lozano find Lozano, so that he may be consumed and digested from this world. Are we in agreement?
Of course, I can do that. I can look for him while you all do whatever it is that adventurers do.
Fantastic.
Take us to her.
That part.
No, yes, follow me. And, it's about a 20-minute or so walk, and he's kind of, rambling the whole time, mainly to Lysel. He's, asking Lysel a bunch of questions about, what their pillar, lets them do, and how the reaping process is for them, because for him it's really weird, because most of the time he doesn't really have to reap anything. But when he does have to, it takes a lot longer, and it's a really weird process. And just talking a lot.
Oh, this dude's a certified yapper.
Oh, he is. His tail is swishing behind him happily.
Might I ask, if your pillar didn't find you, how did you find it?
There's this really big temple in Altacoya, where I'm from, and I thought maybe if I went there and sought guidance from the beings of death, that if my mother were to pass away, that it would at least be kind. That she'd go to someplace nice and that it would be less painful. I don't know. I was running out of options, and then this voice spoke to me saying that my mother was not meant to fall to this illness, and she granted me powers, and I was trained by another individual who also seemed to work for her, and that's how I started learning. But when I got strong enough to be able to more effectively use the healing powers, it didn't work.
I see.
But it's very strange, because I don't know. When it was happening, I didn't really feel like I could say no. I guess I didn't try it. But it seemed like a bad idea if I did.
What, becoming a Reaper?
Yes, if I had said no to it, but, you know, it seems almost as if when the voice called out to me, I immediately changed without even really giving an answer. This strange little flower appeared in front of me and turned to dust, and then I literally felt like the entirety of my composition changed.
Some decisions you make with your soul, not your mind.
The idea of that makes me feel a little better, I suppose. I did really want to help Mother. Oh! This way. And he, like, makes, like, a sudden turn into, like, a very cozy-looking, like, tavern that's built on, like, like, a street corner. And, like, you can see smoke coming out of the chimney. It's made out of, like, a warm-colored brick instead of the usual, like, slate, dark gray-covered stone. And he walks in and, like, a little bell goes off when the door opens. And it literally fucking looks like Christmas on the inside. Not, like, decorated with, like, decorations, but, like, the overall vibe. There's, like, kind of, like, decorative plants, like, growing on the ceiling and displayed about. It's very warm. You can smell, like, the scent of, like, some sort of baked goods being made in the background. It's fairly busy, but he, like, kind of, like, wiggles through and says, follow me. She's in our room. And there's, like, a winding staircase that has, like, windows that look out into the street, so you can just kind of see it from the stairs at all times. The tavern is perfectly warm, and he leads you up to a door, and he, like, knocks on it and says, Mother, are you well? And you don't even hear the, like, you can't even really hear the person's voice, just maybe, like, the light hum of it sounding through the door. And when he opens the door, the room is kind of a mess in terms of, like, one of the beds is, like, not made at all and is all fucked up and has, like, gear and adventuring supplies laid out on it and organized. But in the second bed is a small, huddled up figure of a very small woman with a kind of, like, shorter, white cut hair with black stripes in it. And she has really, really big, but now they're kind of, like, droopy because she can barely keep them open eyes. And she says,
Hello, my son. Are you doing good?
I am, Mother. I brought some people that I think can help you.
And she goes, oh, well, bring them in. It's cold out there.
And this woman also has little, like, tiger-like ears that are now pressed flat to her head. She's, like, actively sweating. She's, like, blinking rapidly. She looks slightly older in years. Not too old, but, like, a little in her early 50s-ish. And she is, like, not even half the size of the bed, but she's like snuggled up under the comforters that are just huge. And she very weakly wiggles one of her arms out from under it and under the comforter and waves.
Johnny comes in, and he has 5 sticks, which he shuffles and conceals. Hello. What might your name be?
My name's Trixie. What's yours?
I am Jonathan Oneros Phage, and we are the Silver Lining. Many of us have magical specialties that may aid in curing the illness, that of which your son has filled us in on. And we will draw lots to determine the order in which we attempt to fix you.
Oh, what a strange way to decide that.
That's how we
Xander,
do everything.
Xander looks at Johnny and blinks and says, perhaps we should start with an identifier?
Well, if I go first, I could. But we need to draw our lots first.
What is it? The shortest stick is the one who gets it?
Mm-hmm.
All right, I go up to the stick you're holding and I snap it in half. I say, there you go.
Very well. And Johnny, dropping the sticks, will go up and cast Identify on her as a ritual.
Yeah, and real quick, Johnny, I would like you to make me an intelligence saving throw.
If I don't want to,
Then you die.
it's 24 with Jelwood's aura.
Yeah, as you cast Identify over her, it feels like there is something almost trying to, like, push your magic away. And it's so subtle that most wouldn't even really notice it. But you press on, and at first, it's kind of like you know how the spell Detect Thoughts lets you detect, like, surface thoughts, and then you can probe deeper?
Yes.
There is something about the magical effect over her that works the same way. That there is like a surface issue where it just is like, oh yeah, this is just like a magically caused disease, makes her weak and sick, and it sucks. But because you pass the saving throw, you can actually see that it is a lot deeper than that. Trixie has been afflicted with a very, very potent and very specific disease caused by blood magic.
Johnny's going to look out at the team of doctors around us, one of the few non-doctors in the party, and he's going to look smugly at Trixie and say, I've identified it. You've been afflicted with a blood disease.
But there's an extra part to it.
And there's an extra part to it, which I also identified.
That the reason that stuff like basic paladin magic and curse breaks and healing and stuff hasn't worked is because effectively there is like a contingency literally written in her blood that unless the caster who put this on her is slain, it will always return.
And thankfully, there is a very simple cure to this disease. We need to only slay the one who put it upon you.
Oh. Oh boy. That sounds violent.
Indeed. Inevitable it was. For the one who afflicted you must have been a great evil.
Trixie
Oh.
almost looks defeated, as like you putting that out into the world kind of makes her feel like, you know, like this look of like recognition falls on her face.
It couldn't have been that, could it?
When he gets up in her face. Then what? What are you saying under your breath? Tell me. I heard it. You said you couldn't have been that. What is that?
Oh, I was just thinking to myself,
What were you thinking? Think to us too.
Vivian grabs the back of Johnny's coat and yanks as hard as she can, which is not very hard, and then says, "Please continue. Take your time."
well, a very long time ago, I met this group of amazing people. They are very dear to me. But, I guess not all of them were my biggest fan, and I saw her recently. Well, recently is a long time ago, I guess. But we didn't converse, I just saw her, but she looked at me with this horrible scowl, and it was days before I got sick, so I never connected the two. I knew that she wasn't my biggest fan, but I didn't think she would try to kill me. I don't even
What was the name of this woman? Where did you find her?
Well, it was in my home in Altacoya. Her name was Winfrey.
If this Winfrey is the one who afflicted you with this curse, then we shall surely put her to death.
I was honestly surprised to see her ever since the group disbanded.
Has Johnny explained that you said that the affliction was blood magic, right? You said that out loud.
Johnny?
You never said that?
You didn't.
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
Never mind then.
Continuing, Johnny says, this blood magic affliction, that is.
Okay. Fucking whatever, asshole. Now that you have said the words blood magic out loud, which I'm pretty sure you did earlier and I didn't mishear you and you're gaslighting the shit out of me, what else is new?
Actually, he said blood disease before.
Blood disease? Either way.
Which could be hepatitis. So.
Oh yeah, that's true. Never mind. All right, fair enough. He's gonna. Jay at this point now is going to say, Miss. He's gonna pull out the wrinkled up, like at this point, like fucked up witness protection poster, whatever the hell it's called, the like wanted poster. The exact opposite of a witness protection poster, I'm aware. And he is gonna hold the poster up and he's gonna say, minus some of the more artificial details. Did she look something like this?
She like reaches her little clawed cat-like hands to the paper and like grabs it to hold it closer. She like squints and says,
The face looks right, but normally she has wild red hair. Also, normally she's shorter. But the face looks exactly the same. I can see it in her eyes.
Excellent. So everyone, we are looking for the sister of one named Winfrey.
Mr. Elwood, no. I think we're just looking for her.
Oh, well, I mean, with the blood magic and everything, I figured they could be related, but regardless, we have a name to attach to the face, comrades.
Oh,
Johnny.
The
What
moment
is your
Esther
name?
speaks up, she goes, "Oh,
If you were to peer into Madame Trixie's dreams, would you be able to perhaps distinguish an etheric signature of this Winfrey?
Perhaps. Perhaps not. Either way, I would like to see.
You said that this curse sort of reacts to any attempts to remove it, yes? If that is the case, while you are peering into her dreams, if I were to attempt to cast a remove curse spell, that should give you a greater insight as to the etheric signature of the caster, no?
Let us see. Trixie, fall asleep.
Okay.
and she gets cozy, but then blinks kind of awkwardly, and then blinks.
And Vivian put something together real quick to help her fall asleep.
Oh yeah, you don't even need to roll
Vivian's
for it.
punches her in the jaw. Yeah, she'll
Here, hold on.
step out into the next room with her alchemy supplies and come back 5 minutes later with super melatonin.
Yeah, she
Super melatonin. Oh god, she's gonna be depressed forever.
AKA a brick.
she she takes a long sip and then puts the cup or vial on the counter and says,
Oh, that's nice, but I'm sorry if it takes a...
3, 2, and done. Okay. Mr.
Wow,
Phage, do your
Vivian.
thing.
You're so good at drugging women.
When they...
Specifically mothers, might I add.
Stop.
Vivian just sort of thinks for a moment. It's
Johnny smiles at you.
yeah, I guess.
Johnny,
It's not something I'm going to put on my resume, but yes.
Johnny, you are capable of still moving and interacting when in the dreams of an individual, yes?
I will be completely aware it is sort of like a second consciousness, if you can imagine that.
Of course. Then when you are ready for me to cast the spell, simply give my coat a tug.
Okay, I could tell you. But do you prefer the coat tugging? Is there a reason for that? I'm just curious.
I think the silence would add to the atmosphere of the situation and just be more dramatically appropriate.
Oh, very well. See, you are well versed in smut novels as well.
What?
What? Johnny casts Shape Dreams on the unconscious Trixie. Tell me, what dream does Johnny manifest in?
Yeah, you see a dream, of, what looks to be, the underside of a ship. Not, from under it, but, the storage area within a very large ship. And, you feel pangs of hunger and a very, very, very severe anxiety. And you see, out of a crate that's, toppled on its side with, apples spilled out of it, a little, quite a bit younger Trixie, crawls out. And she goes,
Oh... This was a bad idea. What if they're not even on the boat? Fuck!
Johnny takes the form of a butterfly and will flutter about, observing Trixie.
yeah, and she's, just kind of cursing to herself,
Oh, God's damned fucking shit. I don't know how to handle any of this, and then Lady Serena forgot to give me my damned ticket. Oh, at this rate, I'm never gonna see my son again. I'm gonna be
It
put
was
in
like-
jail.
Johnny in the real world says, "Oh my god, like mother, like son, she's just talking." Like Reed.
In the real world, you feel a slap on your thigh because she can't reach the back of your head.
Ow. Oh. That's weird.
And she hears, like, you hear footsteps, and obviously so does she as her ears perk. And, she, like, scrambles back into the box and, like, bumps into it in a way where it goes back right side up. And, she pulls the lid back on. And, somehow the dreamscape allows you to, like, see through the box and see her hiding in it. She's, like, curling up her legs and pulling her dress over her legs so that she can, like, curl more into a ball, and her ears are flat to her head, and she's holding her tail, in just complete terror. And she's like,
And it
and
takes the form of a barnacle on the wall.
you see multiple shadows converging down. However, only one person shows up. You see a woman who is very small. And she's wearing a dress that's kind of made out of, like, furs and extra leather straps. And she has very pale skin and a freckled face, and her hair is red and wild. And at first, when she comes down, she has green eyes, but then they very quickly turn red. And there are shadows, like there are multiple people, but then they all seemingly fade away and disappear into just her. And she says, "All right, where are you? I know you're hiding in here somewhere. I just have to remember what box it is." And, Trixie, like, hides further in the box, but then looks visibly confused, as if, you know, this is a different outcome than she expected. And then, with a flick of the individual's wrist, a beam of ice that looks like it has, like, blood frozen within it, goes at the exact box that she's in and shatters it into thousands of little pieces. And she goes, "There you are, love. I've been looking for you." And Trixie goes, "Oh!" And, like, starts, like running away and trying to clamber up boxes. And not once does this other individual sprint. She just seems to glide through the air effortlessly. She barely looks like she's walking.
A great roar is heard as the barnacle turns into a massive adult male bull hippo that begins rushing the red-haired woman, and Johnny will tug on Xander's pant leg.
Yep, and Xander is going to cast Remove Curse on Trixie.
Yeah, and, Johnny, you see something crazy happen. The woman smirks and then, like, flexes her fingers, and these arcane runes that look like they're made out of a moving red viscous liquid form around Trixie and then collapse around her throat and start choking her. And she goes, "Ah! No! No! Ow!" And she, like, half of her body turns into mist and floats over the form of the hippo and pulls her closer and says, "Trying to get rid of me, are you, darling? It's not going to work that easy." And, this, like, red mist starts to permeate, permeate around through the entire room, that you're all in. And she looks around and then looks at the hippo specifically and squints and says, "I've seen enough." And, real quick, Joey, was it pronounced Leia or Leah? It was Leah, right?
Yes, Leah.
Yeah, she says, "Leah, get me out of here." And, the woman fades into a particle of, like, even deeper red mist and evaporates. And Dream Trixie and real life Trixie start to scream.
Are we still in the dream? Has not ended yet?
The screaming goes on for a few seconds, actually it's rather long, about 30 seconds, and then the dream ends. And Trixie is just, ah! 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 No! 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 And she's clawing at the air, her claws are literally out, and she's clawing at the air above her and also at her throat.
Seeing her start to claw at her throat, Xander is going to cast Hold Person on her.
Yeah, and due to the way that she is right now, she cannot resist, so you're able to hold her still until she fully comes out of her sleep, and Johnny, you also return back to the waking world.
Yeah, and it occurs to me that you guys have not seen Xander cast this spell, by the way. As he casts Hold Person, basically a burst of sand comes out the signet ring, and then starts to cling to Trixie, and then expand outwards, basically petrifying her. Well, that was eventful from our side. What the hell happened in there?
Johnny was giving a live presentation of what was going on as he was in there.
Oh, okay.
So everybody knows.
Prince Xander, will you please drop this spell?
Of course. And I will stop concentrating on Hold Person.
I walk up to Trixie and I'm going to say, how do you feel?
Oh. Ow. Horrible.
Eat this. I shove a berry in her mouth.
No.
While that was all going on, Vivian was keeping a very close eye on her, trying to see if there was any physiological changes as the dream went on, particularly when Johnny started to talk about the person showing up on any time that she cast magic. Did I notice anything physically going on with her?
With Trixie, yes. You notice that whenever the individual casts magic, Trixie's condition visibly got worse.
Even if it wasn't necessarily directed at her?
Yeah. Just in general, got a whole lot worse. And then, Johnny, now that you are out of the dream, you get the sense that you were not the only person watching that dream. Because just because you were there and present in her mind, Trixie doesn't know anyone named Leah. Not in the slightest.
This goes beyond a typical dream. That vile presence, that Winfrey was truly there, just as I.
Oh.
I also really like just a quick tangent, I really like that you were telling us what was going on, because there was a moment where you were like, and now she's casting a choking magic, and now I'm a hippo, and now I'm charging as a hippo. I'm like, whoa, shit, all right. Right. The name Leah, does that mean anything to Sir Elwood?
Leah? Oh, no, I don't have any fucking idea who that is.
No worries.
I didn't know the names of anybody that accosted my family and killed my livelihood. No, I have no idea any of those people's names.
Just, do I get the impression, because the medicine that I take helps me to stave off the external influence of another being, do I get the impression that I could craft something for Trixie that would make her nightmares less potent?
Yes. You could use like a same recipe, but then like at one point in the process, like taper off and do a different route.
Okay, so I'll plan to do that. And I'll also plan to show her son how to do it.
Yeah, Mateo kind of like sighs and just says, then killing the person who did this to her doesn't seem so simple.
Simpler than you think. Put the sharp things in them until they're not moving anymore.
Indeed.
The real problem is finding them. We've been running into that issue a lot with many of our leads.
Indeed.
Well,
to be fair, most opponents could scarcely stand against the combined might of the Silver Lining. They need to hide.
do these individuals even know that you're chasing them?
Ideally, no, because if they do, then we're in a lot of trouble.
I'll have to hold back on the hippo for a little bit, but that's fine.
Okay, well, like I said, I promise that I will be doing my own investigation on where the individual you're looking for is. What did you say his name was? Lozano?
Indeed.
And update you. But even just any little bit of information helps. So far, no one I have seen has been able to determine that there is a secret layer to her illness.
Could you look into both of these matters for us? We currently are pursuing another individual conspiracy. By the time we finish, it would be best if you have a strong lead for us.
He puts his fist like to his chest and like does like a half bow and says, "You have my word. Anything to..."
What did you just do?
Oh, it's a salute, I guess. I always had to do it for the one who trained me, or she would hit me on my hands with a stick.
I really like that. Can you teach me that?
Oh yeah, you make your hand into a fist, and then and he like demonstrates what he did, but slower, and then he does like a little half bow, and he goes, and then you just bow.
Oh. Look to Xander. Why didn't you tell me about this?
About what? I'm confused.
Johnny does the bow. Or looks to myself. Oh, or is this a Reaper thing?
It's not something that I was ever taught.
Oh, here, let me teach you.
All right. While he's doing that, I'm going to check in a little bit more on Trixie. Just anything else I can tell with a medical glance over her. She seemed like now that the dream has ended, she is mostly back to normal.
Yeah, as normal as she was before. You know, still
Okay.
kind of looks like shit, but significantly less like shit than when she was sleeping.
Yeah. Do we have any immediate plans as a group? We have things
Would
we
love
need to
to
do
get-
in Snow's Reach, but
Ahead on... So I think Magic Item Shop can wait to be like the last thing. Like we're going to do Magic Item Shop, then we're going to go look for not Joe's mom. I'd say our priority right now should be 1, following up with Camillus' info, because we can do that when we go to sleep. And then if we find a good lead, we can pursue that. If not, we can go to the Underdark. Is that agreeable to everybody?
Yeah.
Wait,
Perfect.
Underdark.
Yeah, we have from Farwood, or not Farwood, the other place we were in for the Underdark.
In that case, I'm going to, if it's fine, take like the next hour with Emiko's help. I'm going to show Mateo how to make medicine for Trixie.
Emiko's not there.
Oh,
Yeah, she left a while ago, probably when you guys first started.
what a little freak. Okay. She'll look around for Emiko and be like, oh, hey, someone needs to find Emiko.
Oh,
Hello,
Emiko.
Coin Emiko.
Nice
Hello,
looking
Coin
ball
Emiko, where
chain.
are you? Oh, the chain right now?
Oh, I'm in our tavern. I'm crafting at the moment. What's up?
You just kind of disappeared and sort of assumed that you just sort of puffed into smoke.
Oh, I wasn't really needed there. So I thought I could do something that was important to me while you guys help the lady.
What are you doing?
I'm making the blades for the ice skates.
Take an insight check. Is Emiko actually taking a shit right now?
Nice.
Okay, so yeah, she'll say, understood. We'll probably be glad to collect you in about an hour. I have some things I need to take care of here.
Okay. You can just tell me where to go if it's backtracking.
We'll figure it out in an hour. Yeah,
Okay.
and then I'll just, I'll make the thing. Bada bing, bada boom. Is there any immediate noticeable difference after she takes the medicine?
Her fever seems to go down. And she's able to open her eyes a little more. And she, looks a lot calmer afterwards as well.
Okay. Yeah. Tell her to take that every morning. And let's... Hey, by the way, Mateo or Trixie, either of you familiar with a Marcello? Purveyor of fine goods and buyer of tattered tapestries that we found about like 20 sessions ago.
Oh, I have seen, I don't know him personally or really much about him, but I do know that there is it's near the Parliament building. There's like an area that has his name engraved on one of the plaques of, I'm assuming it's his residence. I remembered it because it was very pretty.
And finally offload these fucking tapestries that I've had for almost all of 2024. Great. Yeah, let's boogie. Where are we going?
Oh, what time is it?
In the day, likely it's about 4 p.m. by now.
Okay. Let us go to the Glow District. Search for this dealer that was spoken of.
Yeah, and while you guys are on your way there, go ahead and roleplay amongst yourselves. I have to use the restroom real quick.
Everybody drink.
Emiko, do you want to come with us to the Glow District? Emiko,
What?
do you want to come with us to the Glow District?
What are we doing there?
We're looking for a dealer who might know something.
Yeah. Yeah.
Getting
Okay.
I'll go with you. Should probably just meet you guys there.
All right.
kind of deal
Honestly,
is it?
I really wanted
Did we
to
ever find out?
talk about these ice skates that you're making, but okay, I guess we'll just meet you there.
I'll finish them tonight. Don't worry about it.
I'm worrying about them. I'm curious about them. But we only have so many sending coins. I'm going to have to borrow Xander's soon.
We have the necklace. Why aren't you using that?
I tried to tell them.
Sorry, I had to take one from Xander. It just feels better to use the coins.
But I made the necklace special so we can all talk to each other. Do you not
Xander's
like
saying the
it?
exact same thing, and he's really hesitant to give up these coins.
Do you not like the necklace I made you?
I'm so confused as to what's happening right now. I've been using the necklace.
Yeah,
But
everyone else has.
Unless I'm mistaken, the necklace only works for us, right? Like, if we're communicating with other people, then we need the coins for that.
Yeah.
Xander threw the last coin over in the street somewhere. I had to find it. Sorry. This is the last one, though. I'm probably going to take the necklace and use that now.
You already have the necklace.
I know. But Philip actually has it right now. Get a message from Philip. Bah!
Wow.
Chas, is this what you wanted?
Johnny takes the necklace from Philip, puts it on. Ah, there we are. Now do tell. What blades are you working on? You're on the necklace. Lifestyle, can I borrow one of your coins? I don't think this necklace is working.
I don't have any on me.
Well,
You're keeping them all in the same bag. You already went through them all.
oh no, but my necklace isn't working. How am I going to contact Emiko?
Maybe they'll contact you when she's ready.
You hear over the necklace, Mr. Phage, you don't need to use the necklace if I'm 3 feet from you. We're standing right next to you.
Oh, did I say Vivian?
You did not, but we can all hear because we're standing right next to you, like I just said. Stop talking over the necklace.
But I want Emiko to hear me too, and Emiko's an ocean away.
I can hear you. I'm just a little offended that you didn't like my necklace in the first place.
Okay, you want me to be honest, Emiko? You want me to be honest?
Yes.
I forgot about the necklace, all right? My mind has been on the coins for so long. They're comfortable to me. They're familiar to me. Philip had the necklace. He stole it from me. I'll never forgive him. That's it. Okay? I'm using the necklace now. I love the necklace. I love not having to mug Xander for coins. And, you know, this necklace is so impressive that I can't wait to see what other inventions you make. Namely, the ones I can help you with. Namely, the ice skates. Now, what do you have in mind for those bad boys?
In the store.
I don't actually really know. I have like a basic shape done if you want to come look at them like later. But yeah, I just want to be able to like use my feet as like more of a weapon and be able to get around more smoothly through like the snow, but also have them work like everywhere so I don't have to take them off and I can just have natural blades on my feet all the time.
So are you finally picking up shoes, or are they going to be blades on your bare feet?
I have shoes on. I've been wearing shoes since we got into the snow.
Oh, well, I mean, they've been covered by the snow, so I haven't been able to see. You're so tiny.
First of all, we were on dinosaurs, so you had the perfect opportunity Second of all,
Would you prefer I look at your feet more often? Is that what you want?
no!
Damn.
Well, this is probably
You opened yourself up for that one.
I know! I was gonna say something, but he went too fast.
Let's all look at each other's feet. It seems to be a trust building exercise. These are mine. Gelwood, let's see them grippers.
No, don't.
Wait. Vivian,
Hmm?
why do you only have 5 toes?
What if I told you?
Mr. Phage, that is an alarming sentence.
How did... I'm so sorry. How did you lose so many?
Lady Emiko, please meet us in the Glow District.
I'm on my way.
Thank you.
But more specifically, Emiko, I am considering the capacity for blades on one's feet to be used in the consumption of evil.
They'll consume something.
What if you could attack with them? That is what a blade is for, is it not?
Yeah, I said I want to attack with my feet. That's the whole point of putting blades there.
Yes, but what would the nature of this attack be? You're already a pretty good puncher, so the blades have to compete somehow, right?
Well, like, I like the idea of every part of me is the weapon. I'm like, I really like experimenting with, like, my skills. So, like, the chain sight, the chain, like, sickle thing I have, I'm thinking about getting a new type of weapon soon. Just to, like, spice it up. So I want different type of weapons that I can attack with, just because I'm very interested. I don't want to stay with the same weapon.
You should try a bullhook.
I can't. I
Have you
don't
tried
think
a
I can
billhook?
wield one. I don't think I can wield one.
We can make you a small one.
We can make you a
Then
small
is it
one.
really a billhook?
It's
If
just
it's a-
size down.
It's about the spirit.
It's also about the bill and the hook. So yeah.
Anyone else think it's strange that you don't see more monks using guandaos?
What's a
I don't know
guandao?
what Guando is.
It's like a glaive, but it has a bit of a thicker front.
What's a glaive?
It's a pull-on weapon. It's like a billhook, but thicker.
Ah, I know what a billhook is.
Oh, right. You don't know hardly anything about weaponry. That's an interesting... You know what? If I can find you books on smut, I can find you some nightly recipes of destruction.
Oh, Johnny, his face becomes red at the prospect. Really? That sounds incredible.
Surely there's at least a couple of books that have to do with with ancient armories somewhere in Kelmra.
Surely. Such esoteric knowledge, it has me hungry at the thought.
Hello, my friends, I am back.
DM, I have a question.
I have an answer.
How long would it take for me to get from our tavern to the Glow District if I'm, like, running across, like, roads?
Well, you'll be working at top speed.
It would probably take you about 30 minutes.
Okay.
By the way,
No.
ah,
Yes.
Maybe.
Ah!
Perhaps not.
Fuck.
Okay. I'm done. I'm done making
That
stupid
fucking-
noises.
Tim Allen grunt you just did?
Am I right now as Tim Allen from Home Improvement using a laser chainsaw to fight a raptor?
None of those words are in the Bible.
Jazz, were you doing something or did you just perish?
Yeah, I did just perish, but
Okay.
also the inn that you are all staying at is called Owl's Nest Inn and Breakfast.
Nice. We will definitely remember that in 3 sessions.
That's why I put it in DM references. But also, technically, last session you guys were staying at a rehabilitation center because 3 of you got fucking
We got sick.
Yeah,
And what happened?
got the listic.
We saw the new light.
That's actually what happened to Vivian last session. She developed bone cancer. They had to get it fixed real quick.
Yeah, from the listic obelisk.
And she somehow came away with a crab. I don't know what the moral of the story is, but I think it's a good one.
But yeah,
I don't know that they're related.
Yeah, going as fast as you can, it would probably take you about 30 minutes. It's not that far from the front of the city. It's like right after the Diamond District.
Would I get there before or after them?
You would likely get there a little bit before.
Okay.
Yeah, so, as everyone else is making their way forward, heading to that part of the city, it takes the rest of the party about 45 minutes to walk there, hoofing it. Mateo leaves the tavern room with you, but strays off after maybe like 5 or so minutes, to immediately go start looking into things. But he enjoyed talking with Lysel, another person with a similar power set. Like, Lysel, he asked you so many questions. 16,000 questions. But...
Lysel, the second they get out of earshot, man, that guy was annoying.
Damn.
But, when he leaves, again, it takes only about 45 minutes to get into the Glow District. And there is a noticeable difference. It's like you kind of like go down a path that dips downward and just everything looks like just kind of shifts a little bit. Some of the tapestries that hang from, between buildings that are meant to look nice are a little dirty or tattered. There are puddles of melted snow on the ground that haven't been like swept up. There are like boxes and crates filled with like trash or junk just like sitting outside or on the sides of buildings. The people there are, I don't want to say less friendly, but they are more avoidant. They kind of like look at you and then immediately turn in the other direction. It's just like a completely different place. It's not the worst maintained place you've ever seen, but it is definitely different from where you just were. And you all see Emiko's like leaning against a wall.
Emiko, as I was saying, stop speaking through the necklace. What if, using these skates as a weapon, when you unleash a flurry of blows, you could follow up with an attack using the blade with some magic? We could enhance your speed with them as well.
That sounds fun.
The concept is in my mind, but the construction is far out of reach. I feel that devouring the dreams of the architect and artist Lozano would aid in this quest. let's say we work more intensely on it after he has been slain.
Sounds good to me.
Excellent. All in due time. Now, this dealer looks to the party. How should we go about finding them?
Well, I suppose we could ask around, pretend that we're going shopping for less than savory items.
Xander, the
Yes.
box.
What about it?
We can use the box.
For what purpose?
We can say we have goods to sell. In the box.
Would that help us? Would that help us find the dealer?
Well, I saw someone who said they had goods to sell and they didn't have a box. I would have believed them. Totally makes sense, right? You need a place to hold the goods.
But we're not selling, we're buying. That's why we're going to a dealer and not a distributor.
And what better place to keep all of our belongings than a box?
I didn't even know that you buy from a dealer. But yes, Vivian's exactly right. Okay. Well, we have the box in our mind now. We know if we need to use it.
Yeah, the real question is, how do we get Johnny into the box for this plan?
We've done it once. We can do it again.
Hmm?
Xander, could you ask around?
Of course. And I'm gonna start asking around, DM.
Xander, make me a persuasion check.
That is a natural 20
Whoa.
for a total of, with guidance, that is going to be 32.
Yeah, you, start asking people around.
Sorry, 31. I'm terrible at math.
Yeah,
You forgive him.
and you kind of, like, glance around, you kind of try to find, like, the perfect person you think to ask, and you see that despite the fact that this is a place that's kind of, you know, shit, you see this woman who is wearing this very nice, like, boa around her neck and shoulders, you know. And she's kind of, like, leaning on a wall, and she's, like, just hanging out. She's, like, smoking out of, like, one of those, like, it's not really a pipe, she just has, like, a cigarette extender thing, and she's, like, smoking out of it, and, she, looks at you as you're, like, talking to her, and she kind of, like, grins, and she says, "It depends. What type of product are you looking for?"
You hear from the necklace. It's time.
I know everything there is about things for sale. Depends on what you're looking for.
Let's just say we're looking for something on the spiritual side.
Really dabbling in the ill-gotten goods, aren't you? Well,
Well, we're fighting very powerful enemies these days, and we need every advantage we can get, no matter how morally unscrupulous.
She, basically, you see her form shift, and how this starts is, like, one of her eyes, like, bulges out of the socket for a second, and literally her entire form changes to a kind of, like, busty, lavishly dressed woman to this, like, older, hunched-over man with a lazy eye and, like, a really gaunt and long face. And he says,
What are you willing to pay for it?
Well, typically coin.
sure. But the whereabouts of it are a well-guarded secret. We have to get a bit of insurance, if you catch my drift. What are you willing to pay for the ability to see these secrets?
I don't know what the fuck this dude is asking me for right now. I'm gonna be honest.
He's asking, you asked him where he could find those things. He's saying you have to pay to figure out where that shit is.
Yeah, and then I offered him money.
Yeah, he just went
Now
around.
he's saying something about insurance. I don't know what the fuck he's talking about.
Yeah, he's saying he just continues saying, yeah, I'm asking you for money because it's a secret and you have to pay to keep that secret safe.
Right. And what would the browser's fee be in this case?
If you want the safe way to get there, they'll run you 500 gold pieces. If you want the
Holy.
not so safe one, it'll run you around 250.
Hey, Jess,
Hey, me.
What?
is this guy fucking with us?
Make me an insight check.
I'm in on that as well, because like, that seems a bit steep. Like, who's gonna have that
that
kind
is-
of money?
The Dakota dice have now worked for me. That is a 31.
Holy.
In terms of cost, yes. He is definitely trying to get you to pay him way more than what I guess he's supposed to. He definitely knows the information that you're looking for,
Got
but
it.
he is definitely trying to cheat you out of way too much gold.
You guys,
How much do I get the impression he should charge us?
You get the feeling that this is still pretty steep, but like any more than 100 gold and he's crazy. But you guys
Give you
are
50 gold or fuck off, Vivian says.
I see. And he starts to stroke his chin. And he goes, I'll be fair. 100 and you can get the information.
75.
And then he says, and he squints and says, 80.
I'm gonna hand him 78. Just so I can fucking say I did. He's gonna give it to us then.
Yeah, no, he you two kind of are just sitting there squinting at each other, but when you hold out the 78 gold, he does take it.
Worth noting, Gale is squinting. Vivian's just staring straight ahead.
Yeah.
Great, I'll take that out of my own money. Great, what does he say?
Yeah. So, his form, twists and shakes and, you hear the sounds of bones cracking again, and he turns into, this very tall person, with, very shaded figures. Can't make out any features, of his face anymore, at all, other than his eyes. And he leans forward, and he tells you as well, deep within the Glow District, it has been out of operation for quite some time. When you find that, turn left down the nearest alley. There is a... Excuse me. I had phlegm in my throat. Sorry. He says... Yeah. He says, at the end of the alley, there is a... You are kind of wedged between two buildings. One of them, the bricks are loose. you can push on them and reveal an opening into an area sort of between walls. Follow those and you'll find what you're looking for, but make sure that you push the hidden entrance back in its place. It's important for getting through.
Fantastic. Thank you for your help. Chas, just as a quick side question, how easy would it be for us to kill this man?
Good question.
Make an insight check for me.
That is 21.
You look at him, and despite the fact that he takes the form of weaker looking visages, you get the feeling that you could kill him, but there'd be no way you could do it quietly. Like, it would get the attention of either people or the few guards that do patrol this area.
Awesome. All right. Xander is going to give this individual a nod, trying not to throw up, and we're boogieing. We're gonna go to the designated spot.
Yeah, he as he's walking away, he kind of just goes, you know, little slimy bitch.
Hey, are we out in public?
Yes.
Are there a lot of people around?
There aren't a lot of people around, but you're by or behind people's homes, and there have been, like, at least 1 or 2 guards in the area.
Johnny's gonna look to Xander with, like, there's this look on his face. Like, when you're considering doing a chore, the intonation of, we can do it now or we can do it later.
Xander is going to look to Johnny and kind of give him an expression of, you know, definitely later, with the intent of, like, you know, we don't want to stir shit up right now because we still have to follow through on this lead. But I think it's definitely an expression of, we'll clean this up when we're done.
Yeah, Johnny nods. We're gonna keep going.
Yeah, and you go the way that he designated, and you eventually do find the sort of like wall that allows you to like push in on it, and when you push on it, without touching it any further, it like slides back and then slides very slowly with the very faint sound of like sliding brick and stone to the side.
Does it seem like the bricks that make up this secret entrance were carved from the bricks around them?
It does, yes.
I will keep that in mind.
But you all go through?
Yep, and we're gonna push it back in place.
Yeah, and similarly, you just have to kind of like tap on it and it will slide back to where it goes.
Fantastic.
It's fine. But the area in here is a very tight squeeze. You literally have to move one at a time, and it smells horrible. The air is heavy, kind of makes you feel like you can't breathe. It's filled with dust, and literally you kind of taste mildew in your mouth just being back here. It is nasty. There are like empty, abandoned cobwebs that stick to your clothes ever so often as you shift through. And you notice that it goes like a little bit to the side and then immediately starts kind of like shuffling down. It's not really like a stairwell, you just kind of gotta like watch your careful footing and traverse down the like uneven and awkward terrain that is like the in-between walls of like a building. Before, finally, there is like a part of the wall that would lead quote-unquote inside that is broken. Allowing you to enter into like a room or chamber.
Does Xander get the impression that this is the only way in or out of this place?
You're not sure. That was the way that you were told, but there's no other like immediate way. It seems like there's just this one little thing down through this like, you know, in between the walls of a building type thing. You probably have to look around more to know if there's any other way, for sure.
Fair enough. We will continue.
Yeah, and there's this, like, broken wood paneling that leads into a larger room. And it kind of looks like a jail almost. There's now stone walls and there's like indents in the walls that have bars in front of them that look like, you know, jail cells, but it's very clear that people have not really been in here in quite some time. There's like puddles of water in the cells. Again, there's cobwebs. There's random like broken torches and trash on the ground. But there is a path ahead of you that is through a door, but the door is like open and then it's held open with like a crate, like where it's holding it open.
With detect magic, do we sense anything in the area?
You do. In fact, sorry, I had to pull up my notes. In fact, with a cast that detect magic, you actually see that there are like similarly to shining like black light over invisible ink, there are like arrows and writing that like all kind of surround this like door and then go forward into the like little hallway-esque thing.
Interesting. We will press onward.
Yeah, and it's not necessarily a labyrinth of a place, just a lot of like twists and turns and very obvious dead ends that don't necessarily go anywhere. The smell doesn't really go away. And you notice that you are probably in the basement of some sort of building, but all other ways to go up have been blocked off. And I mean completely blocked off, like new stone walls paved and set. And then like the stairs that would used to go up have been like destroyed, like they've been literally broken down. But as you progress further, I would like everybody to make me a perception check.
Perception.
That's not a good roll.
It's a great roll.
You already know what time it is.
Whoa.
I like how Xander got a
Are
9.
those reefer numbers?
I like how Xander got
They're
a 9.
increasing.
Jay got a 2. And then Vivian got a 29.
God.
So 24, 9, 2, 29, 14, 22.
Like people to see for me. Specifically 3 of them.
Yeah. Vivian, Lysel, and Johnny, you all notice as you come upon this area that kind of just looks like another dead end. Like, it literally looks like you guys have, exhausted all of your options, entirely. you notice that there is a particular, because this area has, like, a lot of, like, I wouldn't say a lot of water in it, but there's a lot of, like, puddles where it almost looks like something leaked down. You notice that there is a puddle at the very, very end of this hallway that has, like, I have no other way to describe it than, like, a too perfect reflection, considering that it reflects all of you perfectly, even though you are not, like, parallel with it. If that makes sense. Like, it's showing your reflections as if you guys were, like, perfectly horizontal on the ceiling, even though you're standing at, like, an angle, and that's not how reflections work.
What kind of magic?
Illusion.
Great.
But to, like, a passing eye, it, you know, someone would probably just be like, oh, reflection, but you three notice that this is, you know, a very obviously, like, enchanted spot in the floor. And it is person-sized.
Johnny jumps in.
Yeah, and all of you see, it literally looks like Johnny, like, just decided to cannonball and break his ass on the fucking floor. But when he jumps through, you hear, like, the slightest little plop sound, like someone going through, like the perfect little drop of water, and he sinks into the floor. Effortlessly.
We'll go with.
Oh no, Johnny.
Yep. We're going with.
Dog pile.
Swan dive.
Yeah, and there is, like, a weird feeling of falling, and before the feeling sets in your mind that this might be a trap, you all fall very slowly. And then maybe about 30 feet down, you find, you know, your feet touch the ground.
Well, here's hoping there's another way out of here, aside from the way that we just came.
Yeah, and the area you see ahead of you is very, strange looking. It almost looks like like the interior of a cathedral, even though you are very clearly, like, underground-esque. And there are torches lit and set up, and there appears to be, like, a bunch of, like, tents made from, like, scrap. And there's actually quite a bit of people down here. Despite the fact that you weren't that far away, you couldn't hear them talking from up above. But the place is full of people. It looks like a bazaar of some kind.
Where are we?
Some people glance at you, but then they only glance at you for a second before moving on.
We appear to be in some sort of underground black market.
And there are all kinds of things. There are people selling animals in cages that likely are not meant to be pets. There are people selling potions. A lot of these people have masks on their faces. Particularly, some people have masks over their eyes in specific, and they all have, like, weird, like, drawn-on eyes on the masks. It is a very, like, strange sight. This sort of, like, uniform outfitting between the merchants that doesn't really show much of their identity. But there are people selling jewelry, obviously, like, stolen goods. There are people selling potions. You know, again, animals that they really probably shouldn't have. There's a lot going on, and there's people of all kinds here. The air is heavy with the scent of alcohol, and again, that kind of mildewy, moldy smell. And also, like, the slight iron tang of blood kind of hangs in the air as well.
Well, we're here for one particular asshole, so...
Yeah, whoever wants to, go ahead and make me an investigation check.
It's not me.
Can I make it persuasion instead? Start asking around?
Yeah. 9. Yeah, so you all, I wouldn't say you all have to completely split up, but you take like different methods of looking around. Xander, in what way you're asking? Are you asking like, is there, I guess like, how do you ask around? Like, what do you look for specifically?
Pretty much just given the same spiel of, looking for items of a spirit-kin origin.
Yeah.
My character is better at this than I am, so I don't really have an answer for you.
Yeah, you're good. The person that you ask, kind of like takes a step back, like, whoa, that's heavy stuff. But basically, like, you ask a few people around, some of them go, oh, I don't know who sells any of that, I'm just here for this, or, but the last person you ask, says, oh, him? They, like, kind of, like, lean and, like, point you down, like, not like a hallway, quote-unquote, but, like, an area where this big chamber, like, narrows, and says, he's on the other side of that. Usually he sets up shop separate from the others. Some people get a little uncomfortable.
Glad to know we'll have some privacy, thank you. And I'm going to give this individual a gold piece.
Ah, and he, like, bites it and goes, thank you kindly.
And yeah, we're going over to this reasonably secluded area.
Yeah, and, it can still mostly be seen, but only if you stand at, like, the right angle to see.
How wide of an opening is it?
It's still about, like, 15 feet across, which is, again, when I say it's not really a hallway, it's more of, like, a subtle transition into, like, another part of the room. Because it's still fairly wide. It just goes into, like, another space.
Mm-hmm.
But also, real quick, just to give a little more information, for, Johnny and Vivian's investigation, you, find out in a much different way that there's, like, more to this room, and that the merchant you're probably looking for is on the other side of this chamber through, like, a slight division. You guys also find out a few things. For one, this area was literally set up today, so they move around quite a bit. They have, like, set areas that they basically wait until there's, like, less guard activity or investigation, and then they set up. They set up in the nighttime, typically. And then, also, you find out that they have these enchanted masks over their eyes that basically keep their, they keep their identities hidden. It's like wearing a new face. So none of these people ever look the same. The reason that the masks are uniform is basically to imply that they are part of the same, I don't want to say caravan, but like that this is the type of environment that they are in down here, And more information is that oftentimes if they move cities, they only do it on the last day of a particular month. But they usually just kind of stay to bigger places within license. So, like, it's basically either Snow's Reach or it's Winterbane, and there's no really in between.
Fascinating.
Ow! I just
Also, you said there's like a division thing between the main area and this smaller area where they're setting up. What is sort of what is marking that threshold?
basically, it's like you have the bigger chamber, and then it thins out into this only, like, because it's like a 60-foot wide chamber. And then it thins out into, like, only a 20-foot chamber, but then the area that it's connected to is at, like, an angle instead of, like, directly head-on, which is why it makes mostly, like, a visible division, because it's a transition into a room that is not really aligned with it, it's adjacent.
So it's like stone walls, basically.
Yes.
Okay. As I'm heading in that direction, I assume there are individuals down here that sell explosives.
Yes.
I would like to purchase some explosives, specifically enough to collapse the wall.
Yeah, that would probably be, like, 3 of them, which will run you 10 gold pieces apiece.
I will mark off 30 gold. And then we will proceed.
Yeah, and again, like, just you heading in that direction makes other people stare at you. Not to mention that, you know, these people are already selling stuff that's likely illegal, that they shouldn't have, maybe that's stolen, but...
Alright, also, one more quick thing to note. This entire time, Xander's face is being concealed by the Kitsune mask given to him by Emiko.
Yeah. Yeah, if you all have any ways, like, most of you have, like, a kind of, like, ingrained way to hide your face, like, Vivian can turn down her hat, Jade is wearing a fat-ass set of armor and also can just change his appearance. You know, so if you all want to say that you have done something to, you know, make your identity more obscure, you definitely had time.
Vivian has actually done the opposite. Turns out, if she takes off her hat, no one ever remembers her. The hat is all they recognize.
They're like, oh, goblin.
Oh, goblin.
Exactly.
Does Vivian have hair under the hat?
You can see her hair in her character art, you weirdo.
But like,
Do you
under
think
the
that the
hat
hair is like
specifically.
glued to the hat? Oh, you mean like does she have like a monk like tonsure cut?
Yeah.
No. She's not smooth on top.
Oh, I'm so sad.
I know, if only.
But like, just you all heading in this direction makes other people watch you. You know, it's like, despite the fact that this is like a black market, like even some people here are like, nah, that's too much. I'm gonna stay over here where they're selling illegal hamsters.
Xander is going to make a pointed effort to, when he sees somebody staring at him, just fucking mean mug him. And they're gonna see like black. Well, no, it'd be purple and red glowing where Xander's eyes would be.
Yeah, and they'll like quickly look away.
Yeah, there we go. Fuck off.
Yeah, but the area you go into is much darker than the main chamber. It's lit up with like blue mage lights. The tent is more high quality than the other ones. There's like a rug set up underneath it. And you see that there are basically like just random little items. There's like scarves, there's little metallic trinkets, you know, some things that don't even look like they're made from what you know they're made from, but he has a lot of the things that are allegedly more potent behind like a glass case. And you see an individual who is wearing like a mask similar to the other individuals over their eyes, very like baggy, but very refined clothing, and has like a bottle of unlabeled liquor that kind of like shimmers a little bit, definitely looks magical of some kind, and like he's sipping from it slowly. And he sits up when you approach, and then does like a little bow and says, "Well, hello."
Greetings, my good man. We are told that you are one that sells high-quality wares for adventurers seeking more powerful quarry by way of perhaps questionable methods.
Oh, of course I do. It's really no problem at all. I'm a stand-in for the usual vendor today. You'll have to forgive me. He's out on business. A restock, if you will. But we have plenty of things for sale.
Excellent. Xander is going to look around. Does this individual seem to have any bodyguards or anything? Also, do they radiate any magic with the detect magic blanket?
This guy does have, like a sense of like, oh, I'm gonna check something. Sorry, okay, that's what I thought it was. There is both transmutation and evocation magic kind of surrounding him. And you don't see any direct bodyguards of any kind, but you do see that there are like these little floaty wisps kind of up and around. That also give off the same evocation signature.
Can we tell anything about the wisps other than the evocation itself?
Make me an Arcana check.
Could I instead take the help action and have Johnny make it?
Yeah, that's fine. You're all there and you're all looking at it, so.
That's totally pointless, because I was going to make it anyway, and I'm sleepwalking. You want to give me guidance instead?
Yeah, take guidance.
Perfect. Veinty.
Alright. So, Johnny, you start to look around, and you can tell that this is basically, like a fucking forgets every word about to come to my mouth. It's basically a defensive thing. The individual that makes these little orbs or wisps can detonate them by saying a command word.
And somehow they would not hurt him?
Yes.
Interesting. Do we get a sense of how powerful the detonations might be?
Communicate this to the necklace.
Johnny, since you got a really good roll, when they detonate, they do 4d10 force damage.
Johnny will relay this through the necklace.
And how many of them are there?
There are 4 of them.
Oh.
They have a 10-foot blast range, and they're fairly spaced out.
Interesting. I wonder what the play here is.
What do we really need out of this guy?
I want to kidnap him.
Yeah, let's kidnap him.
It's easier said than done.
Mm-hmm. Well, he could have other stuff. Is the thing. make an escape move. Johnny will say through the necklace, let us deal with him benevolently now and maliciously once he sleeps.
That's a good idea.
May we peruse your wares?
Oh, but of course. But just a fair warning, please be careful not to touch the glass of the containers. It doesn't look like it, but it will burn if you do so.
Very well.
I think I'm not exactly sure what he would say to do this, but is there any way that, like, while we're kind of like browsing and whatnot, that Xander could attempt a little, I don't know, social engineering, trying to get any information from this guy?
He did mention that there is another vendor that kind of works with him that he is substituting for. You could say something to infer that you know him already.
Yeah, for sure.
Make me a persuasion check.
One could also argue this would be deception. Not that it matters, because it's the same roll for me.
Yeah, you could, you could do either.
Okay. 23.
Yeah. He kind of like cocks his head to the side and says, "Oh, you know him? You must be repeat customers then. Well, I love watching them play coy. I thought you came in here acting like you had no idea what you were doing. What a silly mistake."
Well, we have certainly done business before. It hasn't been here.
Oh, yes, this is one of the worst locations. It smells awful.
Indeed.
Yeah, normally I'm not in charge of taking care of the storefront itself, but the boss is, well, like I said before, restocking.
Of course.
Yes.
And yeah, Xander's basically, through conversation, gonna try to get any information as to where the original dude is, you know, without being too forward in a way that would arouse suspicion. Just trying to get any information that we can to track either of these individuals.
Yeah, he says very specifically that he's at the fountain location.
And the guy he's referring to is the main dealer, right?
Yes. Yeah, although again, this isn't a thing where it's like you guys haven't found someone important, because basically these two are partners, just the other guy usually is the one selling the goods, and this guy reveals to you that usually he's the one who, for lack of a better word, advertises. So basically you have found out that the dealer is not one, but two people. This is just one of the pair. Because they operate under the same, what is the word, pseudonym?
Yep.
To make it seem like there's only one person.
While he's doing this, Johnny is going to, out of his sightline, taking any possession that he would likely carry on his person, and taking out the brush of the senses. He is going to write as tiny as possible. unchanged on it.
You
Like, we'll
said,
put the brush away.
and you said you're writing that on something that he owns?
Yeah.
And what is your hope from it? Just so that I know how to respond to you.
He's essentially just marking it so that it'll be indistinguishable, but if he uses locate object, only that object will give a signal.
Understandable.
Jess, is there a back to this store?
There's like room behind the tent, because the tent is rather large, because again, it's more lavish than the other ones.
Got it, but it doesn't look like there's like a private area.
No, because everyone's just kind of set up like little stands. There is,
Got it.
yeah, there's just a back to the tent, and there is like, the tent is one of those tents that has two doors, so there's one like in the on one side and one on the other. Well, I say doors, you know what I mean. Openings. Yeah, but you converse for a while, and then he goes, "So, anything catching your fancy today? You seem to have a refined taste."
Is there anything that catches our fancy?
Morally, no. But, you know, the things made here, well, they all come from that, make, you know, some of them, you know, give you the ability to regenerate health or resist damages, or some of them make you faster, some of them make you more perceptive.
Or anything that allows us to resist force damage?
There is not. Nothing that crazy.
Interesting.
It's
What
just-
about magic?
I'm just saying, you know, an evil guy's gun, or like, you know, a sword made from an endangered animal. If you use it to kill a poacher, is it really that immoral?
Nothing like that, though. There is one thing that gives you a advantage on, like, dex saves, specifically against magical effects.
And we get the impression that these wisps exploding will likely be a dex save based effect.
Yes. Yeah, they're not just damage without a save. You have to make a dex save to avoid them, and then, Johnny would have figured this out. You do take half damage, on a success and full on a failure.
Fantastic. Well, we are going after a rather large beast, potentially a dragon, though we haven't gotten all the specifics yet. Perhaps this item will help us in our survival. Do you just have the one, or do you perhaps have several?
That one's rather popular. We only have 2 today.
We'll take what we can get. How much?
They're 30 gold pieces apiece.
Xander, holding back his own vomit, is going to give this man 60 gold pieces. Because
Yeah.
if we don't buy something, that's going to be real weird.
Yeah. You feel like, you know, the icky and the bile stinging in your throat at doing this, but the man's grin maybe makes it worse as he, and the items are earrings.
I just want to punch this dude so bad.
Yeah, and it's basically like one earring. It's not like a set, it's like one decorative earring, and he hands you 2 of them.
Hey, Chess, I have a question about the explosives I bought earlier. What would first of all, how are they set off? Is it like, are they like smoke powder bombs where they have to have like some form of ignition, or there's a fuse, or?
Yeah, they are. They are basically kind of like smoke powder bombs. They just are slightly, better made.
And how much damage do they do a piece?
They do... Here, I'll write it in just in case this is an item you all run into again. Just that way we
Thank you.
have it.
I just saw the meme that Minnow posted. Oh, I want to fucking turn this guy inside out so bad, y'all. It is taking every bit of my willpower.
Don't worry. Don't worry. We just need to get through this encounter without blowing up. And when night falls, we're going to kidnap him. And we're going to not torture him, but certainly do something he will not like.
I mean, after we get the information out of him, honestly, probably going to use some dream-based tactics, because that has literally never failed us. And, like, hey, I'm not going to deny you the use of your subclass for its more powerful application. That would be cruel. But, after we don't have any use for him, maybe he would serve better as a Jackson Pollock, I'm just throwing it out.
We're going to kill him, and we're going to eat his skin.
And we're going to paint the fucking walls with his innards, yes.
Any objections?
Okay. Posted it.
Thank you, Chess.
Yeah, they are lyserite-infused smoke powder bombs, and they're very illegal because lyserite is very dangerous when used that way.
It's a shame they put it near their entrance and accidentally set them off.
Okay. Yeah, Johnny will. Speaking of the necklace, we have everything we need. Let us leave and wait for him to rest.
Well, we will certainly be once again repeating customers due to these fine items that you have sold us. I think they're going to do quite well, these earrings. Thank you.
Oh, of course. Keep in mind, tomorrow night we will be moving again.
Absolutely.
We will certainly be seeing you again before that time comes.
Oh, of course. Please come back with the jingle in your pockets we love to hear.
Yes.
Me!
Question.
Answer!
The item that we got last session that allows the user to cast Minor Illusion as one of its spells. Mm-hmm. Typically, when you cast items from spells, it bypasses any need for material components.
Yes.
Is that the case for this?
Yes.
So I can cast Minor Illusion completely undetectably. With that established, I'm going to cast a Minor Illusion, because I assume there's like rubble and debris and that sort of shit around here, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to cast a Minor Illusion and summon Anodyne inside of it. Communicating via necklace, I'm going to inform everyone that I'm going to be perceiving through Anodyne's senses, and basically using it as a way to give this guy a tail, so to speak.
Oh, yeah? So, I feel like, are we just gonna... How about we peruse for, kidnapping-based items until this guy does something? Because we're in the black market where they sell all the illegal things. We'll find some rupees.
That is true.
Yeah, that's what we're going to do until this guy gets EP sleepy.
Yeah. And it's really funny because everything else here is just so tame in comparison. Someone's got slightly illegal bombs. Some people just have exotic animals that really shouldn't be pets.
There's a dude over there selling just bootleg alcohol. It's perfectly fine, just,
Yeah,
There's some weird FDA restrictions and license that make it technically illegal.
Yeah, there's also someone selling, potions made from illegal ingredients or with effects that are not considered legal in license.
Ooh, like what?
Basically, things that...
Consummate tales.
No. One of them is basically things that like a potion version of hold person, like stuff like that. Mainly because those things can be done silently.
Is it a potion or a poison?
A poison. Yeah, that's more of what I wanted to say. A poison of there is a poison of hold person.
Perfect. How much?
That one is 50 gold.
I'll take it. That's going to be very useful.
But stuff like that. Because, see, when someone casts it as a spell, it can be countered or you can see it. So things that simulate that, something that, I guess, dangerous, without the ability to spell cast it, are illegal.
Yep, I'm gonna buy that poison. I'm gonna give it to Emiko. What's the spell save DC for it?
The save is a 15.
And what type of poison is it?
How do you mean? Like in the way that
Is it an injury poison, where is it applied to a weapon and then you stab somebody with it? Is it an ingested poison where you mix it in with somebody's drink? Does it matter?
It doesn't matter, but it is only one use, so you have to use like the whole bottle.
Yeah, I guess that's the advantage with this over it being just a regular paralysis poison, is that it's multifaceted in application.
Yeah, paralysis poisons, usually you either have to be on a weapon or in a drink, and they have to make, like, multiple versions of it. Yeah, but I mean, paralysis poisons in license above a certain potency are also illegal. So, for instance, like, if it's for medicinal uses or for, well, at that point it's not really considered a poison anymore, it's just considered a paralysis
That's just
agent.
a muscle relaxer.
Yeah, or stuff where it only can affect, like, beasts. That's fine. But the moment it's applied to, like, a person, that's when it's, like, illegal.
Yeah.
Which I guess makes sense. Making a sapient being, paralyzed against their will is illegal.
The drugs that do it in real life are heavily regulated for a reason, for sure. Regardless, I guess just generally speaking, in the interest of time, is there anything else here of note to us that would help us in, capturing this individual?
Not particularly.
Cool. So yeah, we will continue to browse until it's...
Actually, this isn't an illegal item, it's just something that someone happens to be selling. There is a scroll of reduce or enlarge.
Yeah, we're buying that for Johnny to add to a spell book.
Yeah, so that's another 50 GP.
Oh wait, actually, as soon as we get that, and I'll call out for that from my personal fund, spell scribing fund. Johnny's gonna immediately take 2 hours scribing that.
Yeah, but then after a while, you see that the individual running that storefront, like, basically puts up a privacy screen that, blocks off that little quote-unquote hallway. Obviously it doesn't fully cover. It's literally like one of those, like, folding screens that sometimes people decoratively put in bathrooms. Like, something crazy. And you see that some of the mage lights in that area dim from underneath it.
For sure. And when that happens, I'm going to be looking through Anodyne Senses. Oh, excuse me.
Yeah, you through Anodyne Senses, you see him walk back over to the tent. He's putting stuff away in lock boxes and, like, whispering a little, like, incantation, like, under his breath. And you
Anodyne got a 19 on stealth, by the way.
Good. His his passive doesn't meet that. And he's like, just putting everything away, putting it back into the tent, and then he whispers something under his breath on like the flap to the tent, like the little door, and then lets it close.
So he's inside the tent, and the tent is closed.
Yes.
Can Anodyne sneak under the tent?
Yeah, make me another stealth check.
Going to cast Guidance for Anodyne. That is a 25.
Yeah. Sneaking underneath the tent, she can see that the man is, like, laying down on a bedroll. A very nice one. And he, like, stretches and just goes, and, he, like, gets comfortable, and then you see him pick up, like, a strange, stone and whisper into it, we made decent sales today, at least 2,000 gold. Have some more returning customers. What do you say tomorrow when we move, we go to Winterbane instead? Yes, I know about the dragon, but I'm sure we can make the trip safely.
One important thing to note, Chas. You said these individuals typically wear masks that conceal their identity.
Yeah.
When this individual goes to bed, does he take that mask off?
He does not.
Interesting.
He doesn't even really take any of his robes or anything off.
Interesting.
Yeah. But he says, we can talk about it tomorrow. Where am I meeting you? You really like to live dangerously, hanging around rich people's properties. But fine. Stop it. And then he, like, sets the stone down and, like, gets comfortable.
Okay. Yeah. Johnny is, as we organize, knowing that he has fallen asleep, Johnny reaches into the dream catcher and 6 times will pull out the web sack of a spider. He gives one of these web sacks to each party member. He says, should we direly need to restrain this man, this fetish contains the dream of a spider. It will do us well in this task.
Are these spell scrolls?
No. These are items that allow you to access a spider's web ability.
Yeah, I pasted in DM references the ability because you also use the stats of the original creature when you use it.
Oh shit. Okay, so there's no saving throw here. That's pretty dope.
Yeah, it's basically an attack.
We'll put away his own and pull out another fetish. The icy tooth of a frost salamander. And he will pack it for quick access. And looking about at this tent, Did Anodyne pick up on what he said to close it?
She did. He, make me an Arcana check, Johnny.
Who? Oh.
$25.
Yeah. Basically, he... Okay. Basically, he just, put a, it's just an illusion, that it's kind of hard to tell now that he made it darker, but it makes the area in, much darker, and also, you can still go under the tent, so it's not the most useful, but it is enough. It, well, if you're small like Anodyne. But basically, he, like, locked his tent as if it were a door. Like a building. But Anodyne is a little gal, so only really affects bigger people. Like, bigger creatures.
How big?
Anything medium-sized or more have difficulty. Like, they can't just slip under.
Got it.
But Anodyne's a fox, so...
So he locked it like a door. Is that a magical effect, or is there literally a lock on the tent now that can be picked?
Look something out to answer your question properly.
Does anybody else have any ideas on infiltration here?
We can just dig under it.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
Pull it up.
He basically cast Arcane Lock around the tent and also on the items and the things that they're in.
Okay.
Well, if we kill him, the magic would be dispelled, right?
Yeah, but it's around him.
So we need to find a way to get inside.
I mean, again, we can just dig underneath.
Want to hear that?
Let us tent on fire.
Well, we want to get access to his dreams, notably.
No, wait. First, Johnny, if you have the spell, you should arcane lock his tent, and then we set it on fire.
Don't have the spell. Great idea, though.
That would be fucking incredible. Yeah, how, on the outside of the tent, how close would we be to him?
On the outside of it, within 5 feet, if you went to, like, the side that he's sleeping
Oh, yeah,
on.
so we don't even have to.
Perfect. Yeah, Johnny goes up to his side of the tent and is going to shape his dreams. What dream is he plunged into?
Currently, you see that he is having a dream of, very, like, hedonistic stuff, like, typical, like, there's, like, 5 ladies around him, he's got, like, fucking several on each arm, just living lavishly is what he's dreaming about, but then he also is, like, it's interrupted by, like, a dragon passing overhead, and he just goes, and he's, like, processing things he's learned about in his dream. Like, he goes, that dragon has been quite bothersome as of late. He, like, sits up from, like, the little, like, sofa he's on, and the women that were surrounding him, like, literally disappear. And he basically, like, kind of, like, thinks out loud, and it echoes throughout the dream. Like, if we go through the depths, we can probably avoid it, since it's been terrorizing the mountains as of late. Make it into Winterbane.
Hold on. Weren't we under the impression that that dragon was under Skinari control?
No, we didn't we learn that it was like a cult and the dragon was like the leader?
You did hear from the Myconids that the Skinari were working with the dragon. And you don't have confirmation necessarily that the dragon spotted in License is the same one, but also, like, it's likely the one you heard about when you were in Farwood. Well, you've heard, like, two different things that no one said they were directly connected, but you guys did in another session go, it's probably the same dragon, because you heard from the Myconids that in the License part, in their, like, sister city, that there was a dragon traveling around or with the Skinari in a way, and that they weren't afraid of its presence.
So basically, they're either working with it or they have a way to mask themselves from it.
Yeah, and then you also heard when you came into License that there was a dragon basically flying around and disrupting the other wildlife so much so that it kind of messed with other creatures and their way of interacting with the world around them, so they moved places they shouldn't be. And you guys did, kind of be like, sure, it probably could be another dragon, but it's likely not.
Got it.
Does this guy have any dreams about the meeting place?
Oh, well, hold on. Where is he now?
Right now he's kind of in, like, just, like, a mishmash of all things lavish, Like, it's just, like, a collective, dreamlike, amalgamation of things that are tied to rich people. So, like, velvet carpets, but then there's marble pillars. It's very clearly that he is not a person that dreams super clearly visually.
Right. Yeah, among this mishmash, Johnny's actually going to wait. He's waiting for someone who seems familiar to appear.
Yeah, and then, you see the dream shift, and instead of being in a lavish place, being like a snowy License pass, although still pretty. There's, like, flowers growing through the snow, and there's, like, purple-petaled trees, and he seems at ease, and then a figure appears next to him that is dressed in a similar set of clothing to him, but is much taller than him. And he says, "Oh, there you are. Things have been so much better since you've taken me under your wing. All the money that we can make. Soon I won't even need to be working for you anymore."
Yeah, Johnny, who has manifested as air, stable gust, is going to wait for this man to fade in this mishmash. And then he will take the form of this man. However, this form is unique. He's going to have a very thin line between him and in front of him a great tent that is a part of his being. The one that resembles the one he was in. And he will say at the door of the tent, what was the... How do I get into this damned thing? Are you in there? Hello? Hello?
Of course I am. I'm always in here. You're the one who taught me the enchantment, yet you still don't remember the word I set for it. So irresponsible.
It's your word.
I won't fail your horrible fickle memory this time. It's Avata.
Yeah. Johnny says, as the man, Avata. And he will change his form such that the door gives way.
Yeah. And all of you see... Johnny, do you say that out loud, like, outside of the dream as well?
No.
Okay.
We're still in dream mode, and then we're going to kidnap him and eat his skin.
Yeah, but he looks at him, and again, as if he's, like, perceiving this person outside of the dream, like, as if he's, like, thinking out loud. He says,
I don't understand you, you know. You always want to be in plain sight, yet hidden at the same time. It's almost like you want to be caught. In what need would our meeting place need to be in front of the Crowley estate of all places? We're not even going to the catacombs location.
Oh, I'm glad this guy is stupid.
No better hiding place than out in the open. Isn't that what I taught you? Along with that enchantment.
I suppose. But he looks over kind of flirtatiously and says, "You've taught me a lot of things, to be fair."
Sorry.
Johnny, in the dream, he pulls out outside of the dream, he pulls out a book. And he begins rummaging through the pages. He studied for this. He has notes.
No.
He goes up and he puts his hand to the side of this man. Oh no. And he says, "Teach me something, and I might teach you something further. An exchange, you could say." What do we really want to know about this guy? His connection to the disappearances?
I mean, appearances is certainly one thing. If we can get the true appearance of the other dealer, that could be useful. But honestly, we already got the meeting place, and fucking Gelwood can literally just take this dude's form. So I feel like we probably have what we need, unless somebody disagrees with me.
Okay. Yeah, so one more thing, yeah. So he takes the man's hand and he puts it up to his mask. And he says, "Remind me of our task remind me of our involvement with those arrests. And maybe I'll let you take off this mask."
Oh, what are you talking about? You mean that band of Skinari idiots that got caught a little while ago? Oh, I don't know much about that other than that their contact within Parliament let them go. But what's this all about anyway? We don't care about those lunatics. We just sell their goods after they pay us a shit ton and move on.
You're right. We don't. Now, for your reward. And Johnny, outside of the dream, it's like, okay, we gotta go now. We gotta kidnap him now. And he's gonna go up to the door of the tent. He says, "Everyone ready? Is everyone ready to go?" He's taking off my pants. Are we ready to go?
Yeah. Yeah, we're gonna.
I don't know what this guy's dick looks like. I can't replicate that. Okay. Avada.
Standard?
Yeah, you say Avada and the charm over the tent dissipates.
Yeah, and in the dream, as he's pulling this guy's pants down, he sees the shaft, and at the end of the shaft is Johnny's face.
Oh, and then all of our marshals beat him unconscious with hammers.
And he says,
I can use the hammer if you want, I guess.
Yeah, fucking non-lethal damage. We all get simultaneous critical hits.
Well, my hammer does fire damage. Can I do that non-lethally?
Yeah, as long as it's a melee weapon.
Okay.
Just show the shaft. The shaft that Johnny is pulling out.
And
yeah,
then
and the tip is Johnny's head, and it looks deeply into his eyes.
Oh.
And he says to the man, "Good evening, coward." And we're going to beat on him with hammers.
Oh, God! Oh my God. Yeah, did you guys, just because a quick question, no, he's unconscious, so you guys don't need to do that.
We have a paladin and a reaper, so smite plus soul die crits.
Yeah, real quick, everyone who is going to hit him, don't make me an attack roll, make me just your damage roll.
Oh boy.
Damage? How many damages do you want? Enough for like a full attack round?
Just
or...
a full, yeah, one round. One round of
Okay.
damage.
Second level smite. Second level smite.
If you want me to
Second
smite
level
his
smite.
ass, I'll do it. I'll use a first and a second level.
I mean, it's a guaranteed critical hit, so...
Oh,
46
fuck,
damage from
that's
myself.
So much. Okay, hold on. I need to roll this 4 times, and then I need to get... What is it with the smite again? It's...
Hey, he's
2d8
unconscious,
plus-
so it's going to be all crits, right?
It's
Yep.
2d8. It's 2d8 plus a d8 per spell slot.
Mm-hmm.
It's 1d8 plus a d8 per spell slot, unless he's
So
on
2d8 for
better.
first level, 3d8 for second.
Correct.
Okay, so that's 7. Wait, hold on. 4 and 6 is 10. Jesus Christ.
Groove, can you do me a favor? Because I don't know how to use the roll thing in Discord. Can you roll
Yeah.
16d4 for me?
Anything for you.
Are-
Dogs
are-
are beating the shit out of him.
Yes! 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 Oh my god.
39.
This guy is having a very bad wake up as he's getting the shit beat out of him, and dogs are ripping at his body.
He's in for a rude awakening, that's for sure.
Ayo.
100 damage.
That is spread out across 2 attacks, but
Oh, we're doing 2 attacks?
yes. a full round of attacks.
I mean, Chas did say a full round of attacks,
I
so
did.
so
I said a full
So that's
round.
100. That's 100 damage. That's not even maxed either. I could
technically because Lysel has great weapon master, so you could do another attack as
Oh.
a subsection.
That's a good point. I don't have that. Never mind. Wrong character.
Using your skeletons as well.
Yeah, the skeletons
Why not, right?
use their short swords and deal another
these are-
37 damage.
These are all crits, right?
Yep,
Yeah.
he's unconscious. And you know
Are you
what?
sure it's not going to be a paste when we're done with them?
It's all non-lethal, so it doesn't matter.
Okay.
We're
He's gonna take him 100.
non-lethally throwing a hydrogen bomb at him.
We are non-lethally breaking every bone in this man's body. Yes.
We're doing it like that, man.
Where the
Chaz,
fuck is
if you
my
saw that
D8?
in rolls. There's an
Okay.
extra 102 points of damage from the dogs.
Holy fuck. Dogs.
Yeah. And it's really
I hit him
funny.
with a stick.
just for good measure.
Yeah, I mean, if Xander doesn't hit this man at least once, he's gonna fucking implode. So
Yeah.
Xander
and-
kicks him in the dick.
pretty much.
Yeah, and then basically you guys do enough to like quadruple wipe out his health bar. He had 88 hit points, by the way.
Awesome. I'm gonna stuff him in the crate.
Yeah, John's
Yeah.
getting the crate with
And
him.
it's really funny because
He got crated.
you guys summon dogs. Other people in the area hear this, they do not care.
Naturally.
Hey,
Hey, can we just do everything in the tent? Let's just lock it again. Like, do we have a safer spot than this?
I don't think we do.
Okay, yeah, Johnny says Avada, and we relock the door. And while we're tying this guy up in like every manacle known to man, let's make sure we gag him too. No bombs allowed.
Yeah, Xander's gonna pull out a roll of duct tape and just fucking head to toe.
Yeah,
duct tape
and
is
while we're doing
sexist,
that,
but
I'm
yeah,
gonna
I get the
unlock
idea.
everything here and loot him for everything he's worth, which we can
Yeah.
do at end of session. But yeah,
Yeah, you guys do definitely though get 2,000 gold pieces.
Oh, good.
Let's go.
Is that
Hey.
including the
Johnny
money
takes
we
all
already
of it.
gave him?
Oh yeah, that is
Johnny.
that is including the money that you guys gave him.
Okay, sick.
Great.
I think for the magic item shot.
Yeah.
Okay, he's all tied up. Well, while he's sleeping, do we need to get any other information out of him?
I don't think we do. Originally I was like, oh, we're gonna kidnap him, we're gonna bring him somewhere, look into his dreams, get information. I think we can kind of just kill him now. I kind of want to wake
No.
him up before we kill him, though, and like give him a whole speech about what a fuck ass he is.
As you're going to do this, Johnny puts a hand on your shoulder. Nay, evil must be digested impartially. This man, though he was quite evil, must not suffer unnecessarily before he is consumed. He merely needs to be digested.
Yeah, I'm not
That
sure on
said,
this one.
does anybody have anything they want to ask him first?
Do we know his contact's name?
Boo boo boo, dream mode. What's his contact's name?
Yeah, in the dream he is like in pain and screaming.
It's okay.
Wonder why.
It's okay. A great league of angels come down and they absolve him of his pain. It is all right, my child. Speak the name of your contact, and all will be made merciful.
He's like screaming in pain, you know.
I just absolved him of his pain.
Yeah.
He's not screaming in pain. He's screaming in fear.
Yeah, well, that's what I mean, is like he was screaming in pain, but then, like, you know, now he's just continuing to scream for a second because that's what he's been doing. And he, like, shakes and, like, trembles, and he looks up and he's like, what's happening to me? I don't understand. Everything hurts all of a sudden, but I can't wake up.
Child, and your suffering will end. The name of your contact. The name of your love.
His name is Yalis.
And as he says this,
Can I finish him off, please?
the backdrop falls away, and he finds himself in Eden, or what Johnny would surmise it to be. There is no suffering here. There is no merchantry. There's merely a great field of flowers and bliss. And Johnny sits alongside him, curious as always. And he turns to the man. Tell me, what would bring you to such a profession? Selling the skins of living beings. What brought you to such evil?
I don't participate in what the Skinari do. I simply sell their goods and move on.
I asked not for a justification of your deeds, but the source of it. Why?
Because it makes good coin. Coin is what makes the world go round, and coin is what you need to survive.
But there are many ways to earn coin. Many ways that do not profit off of human suffering. Why this, then?
Because after my family name was ruined, despite the fact that I didn't do anything, can't run a business, can't do anything attached to my name, so I took what job was offered to me. It's as simple as that. I didn't kill anyone.
Ooh.
They're already dead. And there's nothing I can do about those Skinari freaks anyway.
Confused by this. for a moment. And in the real world, as Xander is raising his hand, Johnny once again puts a hand on his shoulder. And he'll turn to Vivian and explain what this man has said. And though they are both blind, they look into each other's eyes. He will ask Vivian, as well as the rest of the party, is evil?
Yes. If it wasn't for bastards like him, the Skimari wouldn't be able to make money.
Any other opinions on this?
If we are to wipe out the Skinari, we must wipe out their income as well.
He's not taking any blame for what he has done. I think Emika's gonna walk over and put her heel on this guy's neck and just like stand there for a minute.
Xander is going to.
Last call. Any other opinions? Going once? Twice?
Nah, I always defer.
Yeah, Johnny,
Xander,
the moment of doubt seemingly settled on his face. His worldview affirmed, will release his hand from Xander's shoulder. And in this man's final moments, Johnny still grants him the scenic Garden of Eden.
Xander is going to look to Emiko and say, "May I?"
Same time?
Sorry, what'd you say? I didn't.
Same time?
Sure. And Xander is going to cast Phantasmal Force on this individual.
Holy shit!
And
Wait, hold on. You're casting what?
Phantasmal Force, and the Garden of Eden that Johnny currently has him in, corpses are going to burst out of the ground, each one representative of every bit of a spirit kin he has ever sold or contributed to selling, him or his fucking buddy. And they are all going to look at him with judgment in their eyes, and Xander's voice is going to call out from all of their mouths simultaneously, "You chose this. You are the reason they suffered, that their families were torn apart, and you will burn in the vilest pits of hell for everything that you have done." And then that's when Emiko finishes him off.
Yeah. And as you all collectively tear him asunder and he lays lifeless on the ground, that will be where we end off session for today.